This is Bruce Buffer, and this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for the MMA-Holes!
Mixed martial a-holes. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes. You like to be a mixed martial a-hole. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes.
No way.
From the Queen Studios of New York, the Bare-Knuckle FC 9 show. That's right, Jason Knight, Kaleb Harris, Felony Charles Bennett, MMA news, UFC news. Let's go with the MMA-Holes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are here, we are live, we are.
Wonderful.
Jesse, how are you tonight?
Wonderful, Moss.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
All right, so listen, we got a jam-packed show for the first time ever. We're dedicating this show to Bare-Knuckle FC. We're on fire tonight. Are you on fire?
I'm always on fire.
Are your crotch on fire?
Always.
Wonderful.
So is mine. My crotch is on fire, and I have to say this. I am so excited because we have friends of the show coming back. We have a new guest coming onto the show. 3 sexy, swole guests here. And the only way to start this show off is with
Felony Charles Bennett.
Felony Charles Bennett live on the MMA-Holes. Felony, what up, man?
What's good, niggas?
Oh, shit.
Can y'all niggas hear me?
Yeah, we hear you good, man.
Okay, shit. Just making sure. Because I was just on YouTube live and y'all just brutally interrupted it, so it's okay. People were on there like, hey, man, we're waiting for you to come on MMA-Holes anyways.
Well,
So
there
I
you go.
guess they was just using my time for you guys.
Well,
There's
listen,
probably no one over there now.
they love you. The people love Felony, right? Is that what the consensus
Yeah.
is? What is
I
going
don't know.
You're like a mystical
I don't
creature.
know why. I don't know why they love Felony, I got a little dick, I like hairy crotches. I don't know why.
Now, are you pulled over right now? Are the cops behind you? What's going on here? Where are you?
Hell no, nigga, my license is good. I went and paid on them bitches yesterday.
Okay, good.
Good, bro.
That's
So if the police pull me over, I'm running.
so wait, you're running from the police right now?
No, nigga, I'm not running from
Oh.
the police. But how about my opponent is the police? I found this out today. Like,
Really?
yeah, he's a cop for whatever city he's in.
Oh, wait.
So I get to beat. Hold on, let me turn on the light. I remember back in the days,
Oh, there
we
we
wouldn't
go.
ride with the light on.
Yeah, but you're on the
Yeah,
MMA-Holes.
But I'm in Ocala, so they show me love now.
Yeah. Well, you're a celebrity for God's sakes.
Yo, but that don't mean none of them a broke ass celebrity. So I can't pay them niggas off.
Yeah. Well, listen, they got to cut the check, right? Right, Jesse?
Yes.
Right.
That's right.
Somehow, some way.
Well, there you go, Felony Charles Bennett. Now, you saying Johnny Bedford, your opponent, is a cop?
Yeah, he's legally a cop.
Really? Oh,
Fuck-
so you could beat some.
pig. Fucking Johnny.
So you're gonna beat up a pig on pay-per-view? This is unbelievable. Payback.
Yeah. I was just telling them the story about when I was in jail those 2 times, and the fucking cops jumped on me. I'm a cool guy. I'm not the type of guy to get in trouble and then turn around and get in more trouble. Fuck no, nigga. I gotta weather the storm of this first trouble, then I'll be a dumbass and get in some more. But I can't be piling that shit up. Because when you pile it up, you know what I'm saying, they pile up the time too.
Yeah,
Gotta avoid that shit,
I hear you, man. I've
However,
do you have the stream on in the background?
No, it's an echo.
who?
I think there's an echo or something like that. It sounds like do you have the stream on in the background or no?
No, he doesn't.
It's probably a Skype issue. No worries. All right.
Oh, no. I told you I was on YouTube. I was on YouTube live when y'all called.
Oh, okay.
What, does that have something to do with it?
No, it seems like it's fine now. It's just going in and out with some echo. It's all right. We still hear you. So you have a big fight here. Bare-Knuckle, you're back inside the Bare-Knuckle ring, and the last time your hand was a balloon.
My foot was up on the
Motherfucker, you know what? Those goddamn bastards swear up and down I quit in that fight. Like, bitch, even my opponent knew I went into that fight with one hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even believe it. Now, what makes you want to get back in there? I mean, is your hand healed up?
Oh, man, my hand is great. My hand is, I go on YouTube Live, I don't, be saying, hey, my finger's fucking swelling up like a amputee's leg. Nah, I go in there and I hang out. I spar with this motherfucker. I'm just waiting to put Brutal Bedwetter, you know what I'm saying, and give him a real felony charge. Like, nigga, this is the first time ever you can beat up a cop. Motherfucker, you moving up in weight. You better stay down there with the little guppies.
Wow. I mean, now Johnny Bedford, he's fought in Bare-Knuckle a couple times already. He's undefeated in Bare-Knuckle over here. Are you ready to dethrone him?
Man, I was ready when I found out he was a cop. I was like, oh shit, fucking police. Oh man, nigga, you better go pick up your gun and badge, nigga, cause this ain't the price. Everybody else that fought you must have, you know what I'm saying? They stand up citizens of the law, they ain't never been in no trouble. Nigga, I done ran from the police. Nigga, I'm running from the police now.
Wonderful.
We're live with Felony Charles Bennett, a legend of the sport. Now, when you knock him out, are you going to read him his rights?
Nah, fuck that, nigga. The police read us rights.
Yeah.
We just run. We just criminals run, nigga. Criminals run. Fuck that, nigga. But we get that, I get to actually stand there and beat this nigga, though, man. They say he's a real flashy guy, so I hope he's willing to take a couple weeks off, because I'm going to bust him up. No one has seen this speed at 40, Chris. This is real speed and power, bro. I've been training for this shit. I'm tired of losing these fights. Like I was telling I was telling somebody this the other day, like, man, I built the fan. I mean, I built a real relationship with my fan base on YouTube. So I can't be, going into this fight, you know what I'm saying, knowing that I average 20 motherfuckers. Oh, damn, I went the wrong way.
No shit.
I average 20 views now, them niggas gonna talk shit, bro. I can't have that.
Well, your Instagram is on fire. Your Instagram, you got a crazy following on Instagram. Your YouTube is almost at 9,000. Go give him a follow on his YouTube channel. It's featured on this channel, so go check him out. Subscribe on his YouTube channel. You're all over the place. You are a celebrity. Oh, did we lose him? I think.
Nah, I'm here.
Oh, there you are.
I hear you.
Anyway, I'm just kissing your ass.
You said you are a celebrity. And then you stop.
Oh, okay.
I was wondering what was going on.
I don't know. I was just kissing your ass. Listen, I see you're in fantastic shape. I was kicking your ass. I could never kick your ass. I was kissing your ass. You are in fantastic shape now. You're 39 years old, right? And your body is immaculate. What's going on here? What's the secret?
The secret is, nigga, I've been training, nigga. I've been going to the gym, getting this shit right, I want to walk in there like Lil He-Man.
Yeah, looking great. Now, where are you training this time around?
Well, I was, oh shit, nigga, I almost ran these people up.
Are they white?
I was at, 18. Yeah, they are too, man. That would have been the sad part.
Yeah,
like,
that
nigga,
would have been
you didn't see them?
Yeah.
They're white, right there. I don't understand if it's niggers. You can't see niggers, in the dark, you can't see them.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Don't run over the white people. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I've been training in ATT Gwinnett in Atlanta, Georgia, and since my kids are being I'm a dad too, so I came back here to Florida to do my last 2 weeks of training here, but I gotta watch my kids too, man. I went out to the schools and these fucking kids are fucking stupid. For real, man. Hey, Chris, you have any kids? You and Jesse?
They're too stupid to have.
Yeah, man. Y'all don't be no stupid motherfuckers and have them.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. They'll ruin your life. I know Jesse's over there right now like, fuck that, Chris. I want a kid.
Shh. We gotta change the subject real quick.
I want to solidify this relationship.
Maybe we could adopt one of your kids. We can adopt one of them, and this way she doesn't have to go through it.
I mean, I don't like them niggas, but I ain't giving them up.
No, all right, fair enough. All right, there goes that idea. Felony Charles Bennett live with the MMA-Holes. He's fighting at Bare-Knuckle FC 9, November 16th, Mississippi Coast Convention Center is where it's at. Now, what's going on here? Are you living in the car, or is this just you're just on the road? You're just going. What's the deal here?
That's what it is. You know what I'm saying, nigga? It's car life. That's what it is, car life. So y'all niggas make sure y'all donate, cause the shit is expensive as fuck. Donate at least $20, guys. You know, that's for gas, weed, probably a little pussy. I'm just saying.
So they go to a good cause, for sure. What first though? Is it weed?
Hey,
is it gas, or is it pussy? Which one goes
I wonder
first?
what the world's gonna do, right?
Yeah.
Say if I get more famous, right? Because when I knock out Brutal Bedwetter, they're gonna ask me what I'm gonna do with the money, and I'm gonna tell them, you know, I'm gonna go buy me a few prostitutes, like real shit. I'm into buying pussy. You know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you could just give it back when you're done. So I don't blame you. Right?
Yeah, it's, you know, not even see right now you're renting on.
Yeah.
Chris, you're renting on right now. I just want to rent for an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm
right
stuck.
Now, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you guys discussed getting married?
She's brought up weird stuff, and I try to change the subject. No.
Wait, no. Don't.
Anyway, back to you, Felony.
So far from the
Chris,
truth.
I love you, no homo, man. Thank you for telling the truth, Chris.
Listen,
No, that is so far from the truth.
Oh, she's fired up. Good.
It is unbelievable.
No, she
he's
doesn't.
Straight up lying to your face right now.
All right. I'm going to plead the fifth here. That's what I'm going to do right now, as I can see the steam coming out of her ears. She's a great girl.
Hey, yeah.
And a great co-host.
Hey, she's a trip too. What?
So that's the Mexican coming out of her. Be careful, man. She'll slice your throat in a second. This one. Be careful.
Slice your throat in a second.
Yeah, she's got Mexican. Could you believe that?
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, y'all motherfuckers crazy, bro. I know another Mexican. She's fucking crazy. One time at band camp, I was on this canoe with this Mexican woman, and you know, I'm telling her how good she's throwing the rod in this canoe, and she wants to get beside herself and flip us over in the canoe in a lake full of alligators, and then want to beat the man in the goddamn water with gators coming at us and shit. Like, y'all Mexican women, you drink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
God
I know.
damn.
Tell me about it. What do I do?
Shit.
You have any advice?
Yeah, don't upset her.
Wonderful.
All right, there you go. That's great advice. Felony, okay. So there was a guy in our chat earlier. They were waiting. They couldn't wait for you to come on the show. So thank you for coming on, of course. And this, you're like, you've been on the show so many times. We don't even know how many anymore. You are part of the MMA-Holes, for God's sakes.
Yeah. And then I'd be on here for hours. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
So I don't know neither. How long y'all shows be going though? Cause you know I go for days, man.
Yeah.
They say YouTube is stopping. YouTube is not letting you being recognized after 24 hours. YouTube is just doing all kind of shit. They just blocked me on Facebook. They blocked me on Facebook, right?
Did they?
So
really?
I share this post, and I say black people are crazy. It's a black guy, and he just got caught, I think in Texas, or wherever you guys are at, breaking in people's house, tickling their butthole.
We're in New York.
Chris was one of those guys. That's where it was at, New York.
Texas, New York, same thing, right?
Wonderful.
The guy breaking in people's house, tickling their buttholes, and I shared black people are crazy, and I get blocked for it, 30 days.
Wait, they're breaking into people's houses, tickling buttholes? Is that what you just said?
Mm-hmm. It was a black guy though.
Oh, that sounds like a white guy thing. He's taking our ideas.
I know. Well, maybe I should have put white people. You know what I'm saying? I probably would have got in trouble. You know what I mean?
So how long did they block you on Facebook for this? Is it like a lifetime thing?
30 days, nigga. They blocked me 30 days.
30 days.
So I think when they unblock me, then I'm gonna be a dumbass and go in there and say some real like foul shit to them, cause now that I'm blocked, I can't even message the messages to them. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that help you and shit, and make sure you don't even reach out to them. You know what I mean? Oh, bitch, you blocked. We're going to block your whole account. So I can't reach out to them and complain. Oh, shit, I got a piece of blood.
All right. It's fucking party now.
I'm telling you, what? Look at that.
Oh, that's pretty good. Look, it sparked that thing up. There we go.
Yeah, no, man.
Hit that thing.
Man, I ain't want to be sparking and driving and shit.
Where did you find that? Was that in the between the seats? Where was that?
It was in the ashtray, nigga.
Oh, okay.
See, I don't ride like that, bro.
Yeah.
You know what? This is how I ride, bro. You see this right here?
Okay.
This is a black and mild, which is the decoy. This is that 555. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm smoking that 555 and the police pull me over, I put the 555 down and pull up the decoy. So when the police walk up, that's what he gonna smell. He might smell some weed, but when he be like, man, I smell weed, and the cop like, man, it's a black, man.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna argue him down that it's a goddamn black, knowing I just put down the joint.
Now, you are in a fight camp right now. We've touched on this multiple times. You don't care. You just smoke away, no worries, right?
Yeah, I don't, man. I feel like if I'm training, I'll be all right. Like, hey, so let's talk about Nick Diaz and Masvidal.
You know what? I do want to get into that. Now, I know you're saying, you know what I'm saying. You say that a lot. You know what I'm saying. And so does Nate Diaz, excuse me. And I don't know what Nate Diaz is saying, but I know what you're saying. So can you explain what is Nate Diaz saying before he says, you know what I'm saying?
Fuck if I know. I don't even know what Nick is saying half of the time.
Do you think he knows?
Hell nah.
No?
Them niggas probably understand each other.
You think the brothers?
Because they grew up in the same household. But when it comes down to us, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you got to speak a whole sentence. I can't catch some of the sentence and then the end of the sentence. I need half of the sentence. You know, I need the
Hold on a second. We got a donation. Hold on,
How
fellas.
much you want to bet Felony started his car by rubbing the red and white ignition wires together? Also ask him if he's tried the new Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Great question.
Also, and is he sub to at Pulse Reloaded on YouTube?
All right, so this is Pulse Reloaded. He's another African friend of ours, and he's a great guy. Now, he asked a great question over here. He says, did you rub those wires together to get that car started?
Fuck no, nigga.
No.
Nigga, you see what this shit is, nigga?
Oh, super
Oh, shit. Look at,
Yeah, nigga. Oh, you want to see what I'm driving,
Mike
nigga?
Bossy.
Oh.
thank you. So what else did he say over there, Jesse? Did you see what else he got?
Have you tried the new Popeyes chicken sandwich?
That's a great question. Have you tried that?
Hell no. I'm not into. I'm old fashioned, man. You know what I'm saying? I like hair, bush, and I'm promoting it. I'm promoting on MMA-Holes. You know what I'm saying? So don't fucking bleep this out, nigga. If you got a bush, ladies, hit your boy up. You know what I'm saying? If your dude don't want to fuck you because you got a bush or a 5 o'clock shadow down there, hair down there, hit your boy up. I got you.
Okay.
I'll tie you right on up. Got a book bag full of condoms.
All right.
Wonderful.
I'm
wonderful.
in. That sounds like a party. All right, let's get back to the BMF. Talk to me about the BMF. Now, what did you think about that fight?
Okay. Well, honestly, my honest opinion of it, right? We're on the MMA-Holes, so I hope no one hears this.
No one's watching.
Okay, no one's watching. Correct. My honest opinion of it is, Masvidal kicked Nate's ass that first round. He just played around with Nate. He gave Nate He gave Nate chance, and then they don't want Nate to get beat up and lose that way, because I believe the UFC is getting smart. You know what I'm saying? Nate can actually make the money. Yeah. The personality, the characteristic, he can actually make the money. So why not have the doctor stop the fight? You know what I mean? And he doesn't get the loss, but he gets the loss, but he gets the loss by doctor stoppage or however you want to put it and shit. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look bad. With the doctor stopping the fight, and everybody's saying it's a bullshit. Stop it anyways.
All right, so now you're starting. I don't know what you smoked right now, but you're starting to sound like Nate Diaz.
You know what I'm saying?
Wonderful.
There he is. I like that. It's fucking quick as all hell.
Okay,
Yeah.
Let me break this shit down for you,
Please.
slow terminologies.
Yeah.
Because you're white.
Yeah, we need to get Caucasian here for just 1 second.
But fuck that, nigga. You from New York, so as fast as I'm talking, you should have caught all that shit, nigga.
I
You know
don't.
what I'm
Did you
saying?
catch
Y'all
that?
niggas talk fast.
Yeah,
up
but
there.
I come from a Mexican family. We all
She
talk
got
fast.
it. All right, so translate.
So I wasn't. I was writing a question down from the chat for Felony.
She's lying.
Oh.
So you're saying basically that they want to run this back, or they scripted
No, basically, right. Masvidal kicked Nate's ass. He kicked Nate's ass. You know what I'm saying? This is my thoughts of it. The first round,
yes,
when he hurt Nate, he could have finished Nate. Why didn't he finish Nate?
So you think,
you don't think he could have finished Nate?
Man, he had him pretty good. He did have him pretty good. But we've seen Nate in that position before.
What?
We've seen Nate in that position before where he was almost done in the first round.
Man. And then the third round, what did Nate start doing? The fucking third round, what did Nate start doing? Oh, now you Conor, huh? You're Conor McNigger? What are you running from? What kind of fucking kick is that? What kind of kick was that you're throwing, Nate? Oh my God, bro. That shit was like elementary, you know what I'm saying? He was like running. But again, like I said before, you know what I'm saying? I said this on my own channel, you know? Because, you know, he's a jiu-jitsu guy. So maybe that was like the trick, you know? He throw the little kick, fall back, grab a man by the... I don't know. But all in all, I was saying this early on my channel, though. You know, both of them niggas Hispanic, right?
Yeah.
And one thing I learned about Hispanic people, them niggas stick together. Isn't that right, Jesse? Go, Jesse.
This is right.
Hey, Jesse. So, with that being said, and then I could be wrong, Chris. I could be so wrong. But I just think, you know what I'm saying, outside the box. Yeah, fucking Mr. Masvidal and Mr. Diaz had a talk. You know what I'm saying? They was just going to drag that shit all the way out to the fifth round and get a split draw. You know what I'm saying? Or...
You make a good point. You do.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, with the doctor coming in and stopping the fight and this and that and that, yeah, hey, man, you know.
Okay, let's talk about it. Then let's talk about it. Do you believe that the UFC does fix fights or script things? I mean, it sounds like that's the direction you're going in here. And we've actually made mention on this show.
No, but it's not in this case, it wouldn't be the UFC.
It's the two in the fight.
It would be Nate and Masvidal.
Okay.
The UFC, you know, the new UFC want them to go out there and fuck each other up. But them niggas gonna be smarter than the UFC. Like, nah, fuck them. They don't want to pay fighters anyways. Fuck them. Why would we go out here and fuck each other up? And they don't want to pay fighters anyways. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them. We gonna make the money, but we gonna walk away smiling, and that's just that's how I think. You know what I'm saying? And I could be wrong. You know, I could be so fucking wrong, but at the same time, fuck them niggas. You know what I'm saying? I
say that all the time. Yeah. Well, listen, I got a question for you, Charles. Now, this is Felony Charles Bennett live with the MMA-Holes. If you don't know who he is, I don't know where you've been the last how many years. I mean, you've been around forever. And someone in the community dropped into the live chat and said that if you were born 10 years later, you would be running this game. And I was thinking about it. I was like 10, 15 years. If you were 10, 15 years younger, getting into this game at this time now, you would literally be running this thing.
Everyone says that, but I just look at it like this here, man. I've been in this sport for 20 years now, you know, and I never took it seriously. Fuck these niggas. I never took this shit seriously. You know what I'm saying? I always took it as, shit, nigga, I don't have to sell dope. I'm traveling the world because the white man paying for everything, but at the same time, the white man pimping the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
And I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yeah, hey, man, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm 500 here, 500 there, you know what I'm saying? I go buy me a prostitute for 400. Fuck, man, now what am I gonna do now?
So you're saying your career went the way you wanted it to go. It doesn't matter. You wanted to do it your way, and that's it. You wanted to have fun, get into some fights, get paid, party. That's pretty much it.
No, I'm saying, okay, I didn't take the purpose, the point of it is I didn't take the shit seriously, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that I was gonna be this household name. I didn't look at it in 20 years. I'll be sitting on fucking one of the most growing is social media channels, which are you guys. You know, I've been on this. Y'all niggas is growing. Y'all, how many people y'all got following y'all right now?
It's like
60 million.
There's like 10 people watching right now, right, Jesse? I think there's like 10 people. I don't. Yeah, it's a very, very small audience. Not Ariel Hawani, but fuck that guy.
Hey,
right?
Listen, fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
You can't say because I had 10 people on my shit. I had 11 people on my shit saying we waiting for you to come on to the MMA-Holes. So I know you're lying, bitch.
We got a couple people watching. Yeah, listen, we're growing. We're bringing you along with us. You're coming along for the ride. whether you like it or not.
That's what I'm saying. So I never looked at it to be a household name, to be on a social media channel that's growing on YouTube as rapidly as y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, I never, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm like 40 years old, and it's like, man, fuck this. I'm still faster. I'm still young, because I think that way. And I try to fuck as many hairy pussies as I can so I can feel that way. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Physically.
The hairier, the better. By the way, we have a donation coming in over here.
Ah, super chat.
You may have heard of this guy before, and his name is Harvey Weinstein. Now, unfortunately, it didn't play, but Jesse, would you like to read it to Charles?
It says, "Yo, Nick Gurr, what it do? Tell them about Backpage."
Backpage.
Nigga, ain't no back page, nigga. No, ain't no back page. Trump killed Backpage. Fucked everybody up, man.
Now,
I can't even hit up my fucking regulars. You know what I'm saying? I had a few regulars there, you know.
Yeah.
So what he's talking about, right? Little fucking hornball. I thought I was a hornball.
Mm-hmm.
So one time at band camp, I go to this guy's house, and you know, I'm like, damn, where the bitch is at? He's like, well, they don't have Backpage anymore, but they have Bedpage. So I'm like, what? Yeah, they got Bedpage. So when he goes to sleep, I look it up, and sure enough, they got Bedpage. So the bitch comes over,
Yeah.
and my homie's in the room sleep. But when she comes over, it's like, okay, bitch, this is a trick thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got your money, but at the same time, I don't want anyone to know this is going down. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a secret. But the bitch come in there talking all on the phone and shit. Yeah, I'm gonna be in about 15 minutes. I say, hey, man, my manager in the room right there, man. You got that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew if that nigga would have woke up, then I gotta hear shits.
Mm-hmm.
So I fucked the bitch, and then it was like the worst time of my life.
Really?
Yeah. So it made me realize again, like, man, fuck this shit. You famous, bitch.
How much pussy have you had? How much? I mean, if you had to give me a roundabout number.
The question is, how much pussy have you bought?
Oh, there's a difference? I didn't know. All right.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Because, you know, having pussy, you know what I'm saying, it's probably about 10, 11 girls. Mm-hmm. Buying pussy is probably about 100.
So, oh my God. All right, so I have to know, what was the craziest pussy that you've ever bought? Like, give me the craziest story. Do we have a good one here?
So one time at band camp, this is right after I had won the 6-second fight. Mm-hmm. So I had fucking thousands of dollars. So I'm on Backpage every fucking day, 2 or 3 times a day, nigga. 60 and 50. 60 and 50. 60 and 50. So now I'm getting burned out on this shit. Like, man, fuck this shit, man. I'm tired of fucking paying these hoes for this pussy, man. I need a bitch that I can just, you know what I'm saying, go somewhere and do some shit with, like fucking Six Flags or something like that. Mm. So this one night I'm just sitting there and I'm like, fuck. I'm fighting with myself whether I get on Backpage, because ain't shit in Ocala worth fucking. So whether I get on Backpage and drive 30 minutes from Ocala to Gainesville, but then if I do that, the bitch that's on the picture might not look like the bitch in person. So it's like, so by the hour I'm fighting myself to do this. Mm-hmm. Finally, I do it. I say, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go down. So I drive fucking 30, which is an hour, minutes there. And I get there. And this bitch, she looks just like the picture. So when she looks like the picture, I'm like, oh shit. Fucking champion. I'm about to bag it.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh boy.
So she started giving me head with the condom on.
Okay.
And then she's like, I'm like, okay, let's fuck. You know what I'm saying? So get ready to fuck. She tries to bend over. I'm like, nah, man. Turn around the other way. So I'm missionarying. We're fucking. And then she's like, hold up. And then she gets up and she's like, well, just let me suck your dick. And I'm like, no, man, I didn't pay for no head, bro. Let's finish this. No, let me suck your dick. So I'm like, nah, man. Then I said, well, fuck it, I'm finna go, man. She's like, well, you ain't taking your money back. I said, what you mean? You ain't do what you were supposed to do, what I paid for. She said, well, I still gave you a piece of me. So I said, what does that mean? I sucked your dick. I said, so what does that mean? Well, I give you 30. I said, okay, that's cool. So when she went to get the money, when she went to put on her clothes and she showed me where the money was, I snatched the $60 and ran out the room. But when I did it, hey, listen, when I did it, the bitch ran out of the room yelling "Sue woo hoo hoo" and all this shit. Oh, they're gonna kill you! They're gonna kill you! So now I'm running out this bitch room to my car and shit, backing out. Oh yeah, man, it was crazy.
What were you wearing when you ran out of the room? Were you like into your underwear? What were you wearing when you ran out of the room?
Nah, I had my pants on.
Okay.
But I had like one shoe off and one shirt. And my shirt in my hand. So I'm running with a shirt and one shoe on and a shirt and a shoe in my hand to my car.
Oh shit!
You know
That's great.
Yeah, it was crazy though, man. Cause again, I'm waiting in Gainesville, so I don't know who the fuck this bitch is calling right now. Cause we didn't come to a fucking we did not come to a conclusion of nah. Cause I was like, fuck that bitch. I didn't pay for no fucking head, bitch. You know, I fuck that. So I snatched my $60 because I didn't want to. If it had to get physical, then I would have lost. You know what I mean? Because it's like, damn, man.
Yeah, you don't want to do
I
that.
don't want to get caught up buying no pussy. At least I can talk about buying pussy. You know what I'm saying? People, whether you believe it or not, 9 times out of 10, you probably believe it. But hey, man, it is what it is.
You always deliver. By the way, I'm looking at the chat while you're telling the story. This is a great story, and the chat is fucking dying. They are literally dying right now. They're not enough. Fook dying. My ribs hurt, bro. Like, just laughing emojis. You are a legit. Not only are you a badass, but you're a freaking comedian. You're funny as fuck. Look at that. They love you.
Yeah, I guess it's the way I tell the stories.
You're a
That's
legend.
why I be telling these chicks that I be fucking with. Like,
yeah,
man, the other night, prime example. The other night, right? So I'm in Georgia. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been fucking with this chick for a little minute, right? But the first time she blew up on me, it was like, damn, what the fuck? But you know what they say, crazy bitches got good pussy. So I went back.
Yeah, I hear that all the time.
Well,
Sure.
the second time I went back, this bitch blew up again. And this time it was like, what the fuck? So let me break it down for you, right? And it's the funniest shit ever, bro. Like, she calls me and tells me to bring her these mushrooms, right? These diced mushrooms and a bell pepper. Right?
What the fuck? Bring some mushrooms? Like, I could see bring some
And a
beer.
bell pepper.
Okay.
Nah. Yeah, so I go to Walmart, get the diced mushrooms and the bell pepper, right?
So she's cooking for you?
No, I already ate. And see, that's one thing I do not allow. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, I don't want you to get attached. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? I just want to fuck the feel. You know. So I don't want a girlfriend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if I do get a girlfriend, she's gonna like girls. You know, that way, like I said before, I got domestic violence. So if I get a girl and I fuck around and step out and she find out this, she can kill me, and they be like, well, he beat my ass, and then I already got a record of beating girls' ass, so they gonna be like, he did it.
Yeah,
and I'm just a dead bitch.
Yeah.
So I go to this girl house. She give me this fucking sandwich about this big, right? I didn't want it, and because the fucking bread was hard, and my goals, you know what I'm saying? That shit'll fuck up my goals. So I don't eat hard shit on my goals, you know what I'm saying? So I ended up eating the shit, and I came out to the car, and I'm watching the Lakers game because I'm a Lakers fan. Mm-hmm. So I'm watching the Lakers game, and she comes out. Then she's sitting in the car, and she's like, that is so loud. The shoes are squeaking and all this and all that. So I'm like, well, that's part of the game. What do you want me to do? You act like I'm the reason why you know what I'm saying, the shoes squeaking on the basketball court. You know what I mean? So I turn it down, and she's still complaining. So I'm like, so what do you want me to do, Ma? You know what I mean? So then she looks over at me, and she's like, you're so aggravating. I say, nigga, I'm in your yard. You're at your house. You can get out my car, and I can haul ass. This bitch get out the car and looks over at me and say, and I gave you some of my food. I'll never do that again. I looked at this bitch like, bitch, what the fuck do you mean, you stupid whore?
She set you up.
I just brought you fucking dice, fucking mushrooms, and fucking bell peppers. What the fuck? A sandwich that I didn't even fucking want, you stupid whore. And as I'm yelling this, she's going in the house. She's like, hey, you need to get out of my yard. My mom's here. And I'm, fuck you and your mom, bitch.
So she set you up. She set a trap with the sandwich.
Nah. Because then the other day I called her and I was like, hey, girl, I miss you.
Yeah. Was the sandwich at least good? Was it all right or?
No, motherfucker,
No.
the sandwich was not good.
No.
I told you it was hard. She baked the bitch, right?
Yeah.
You know how you go to Subway and they ask you if you want your sub baked?
Mm-hmm.
So she did. That's how she did the shit. So if I bite into the bread, you
Too
see
much.
my goals, nigga?
Yeah, look at them.
I
Yeah.
got a pot full of goals, nigga. Yeah.
Wow, look at that. It's badass.
Hey, Jess, I bet you would like these on that little.
She's so wet. She's soaking wet right now. It's crazy. She's losing it. Jesse, calm down. Jesus.
I'm fucking with you, Chris. I'm sorry.
We got a couple of donations here. Let's play these over here. Let's see. Life and Logic coming in.
Super chat.
And Life and Logic says cheers. Excuse me. Charles is an OG, not cheers. Charles is an OG. And you are an OG, right?
Nah, I'm just a young fella trying to fuck the field.
Man.
Hey, I turned 40 in fucking 17 days.
Wow. So it's not like you're counting or anything, right?
Nah, because that's when I'm going to start claiming 39.
Yeah. Man, your birthday right around the corner. What are you doing for your birthday?
I don't know, man. I'm trying to get a threesome.
Oh.
I'm trying to win this fight. I'm going to win this fight by beating up this cop real nice, you know what I'm saying? And then, I'm going to go ahead and promote because, I promote buying pussy. I promote it. As long as you got a condom, you know what I'm saying? And people, it came out so smart, bro.
Hold on, we got a donation coming in. And this is Roberto Hernandez.
Why you say Latinos stick together? Latino crime on Latino is worse than black on black crime.
Wow.
Serious shit.
That's from a Latino right there, saying Latino crime is worse than black crime.
No, he's saying he asked because earlier Felony said that Latinos stick together. So he's saying Latino on Latino crime is more serious than black on black crime.
What do you think?
That's interesting, man.
It's deep.
So, well, how about this? I got a real good one. Really, really good one. I don't know what's going on right now, man.
What do we got? It's got some trouble out there?
Yeah, the police is out here. I'm trying to see. Oh, that's the K9 unit too, man. Damn, I would have pulled up, nigga. If it wasn't the K9 unit, I would have pulled up.
You don't want to mess with the dogs. They're vicious.
Well, I got weed in here.
Oh yeah, that's right. Where are you now?
I got weed in the car, bro.
Are you in Florida now?
I can't do it.
So are you in Florida now? You're in Ocala?
Yeah. I just left the gym, man. I thought we was going to be live at 6 when I got to the gym, you know what I'm saying? So I could have been working out and then running over here talking to y'all and working out and coming back over here talking to y'all, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm different. Yeah. I make everything different, you know what I'm saying? I'm like a trendsetter, and then these niggas follow me, and then I don't get none of the recognition for it. You know what I'm saying? Who started the backflip? Jesse?
Super chat.
Whoa, shit. We got another donation coming in over here. This is EBS
Tell
Rock.
the story about Candy Lay.
Oh, here we go again. The Candy Lay story. I mean, wherever you go, Candy Lay follows. What's going on with this? Any news?
Oh, nah, man. I seen Candy Lay at the last Bare-Knuckle. And, as usual, he's grabbing his dick at me, it's like, oh, I remember you. Oh, Brandon. Oh.
You kicked his ass, correct? Like, for some people don't know, but you kicked his ass.
Yeah, I did. You know what I'm saying? And I've been telling my Russian brothers, you know what I'm saying, because I'm African Russian. Mm-hmm. So, and I know them niggas like super smart. You know what I'm saying? So I've been telling them niggas, man, hit the dark web, because I know in the dark web. I know that shit's in the dark web, so they need to hit the dark web and pull that footage out so we can watch that footage. Mm-hmm. But then they're my Russian brothers, and they play a lot. So if they did some shit like that, they probably send me a virus that fucking blows up my computer in front of me and shit. Think it's funny. watch me blow up and shit. He got it. So yeah, I don't know, man.
The Russians love you. It's crazy. I see it in your community and everywhere you go on social media. You have a huge Russian following. So how did this happen?
They adopted me, man. You know what I'm saying? They adopted me, and here we are. You know? Yeah. So I can't wait to go to Russia so I can have a Russian baby on Russian soil, and I can be, you know, I'm gonna be all for that, man. Like, that's probably what I'll do. Mm-hmm. So I probably won't get a girlfriend until I go to Russia, have a baby, then come back and get a girlfriend.
So are you looking to settle down ever, or are you looking to just what's going on?
Man, girls scare me.
Yeah.
They should.
Jesse.
They should.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. See, thank you, Jesse.
See, Jesse's
for real, man.
Yeah.
The motherfucker scared me, man.
Super shy.
We got a Brazilian American patriotic soldier saying, Charles is a good man. I want to see you do good. So there you go. A Brazilian American patriotic soldier is rooting you on.
Thanks, bro.
There you go.
Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube account.
There you
go. Trying to hit 10,000.
You're getting there. You're very close, actually. I saw the other day you're blowing up on YouTube.
I think I'm like 1,100 shy right now. It's all right though, man. Because after I knock Brutal Bedwetter out, that shit's gonna really blow up.
And that's right. Felony Charles Bennett is fighting this next weekend. Excuse me, Johnny Bedford.
Hey, so
yes.
Again, guys, these are the new condoms, right?
Are those mini condoms? Because I can't use them unless they're mini.
Oh, man. How did you know? Are you guys using these?
Yeah, I use the small ones.
You have these too?
Behind me, I have small pecker condoms, courtesy of one of our viewers. I use it every night.
Whoa. What?
Yeah, it's a long story. Well, actually, short story, if you know what I mean.
Wonderful.
This is a good one.
Yeah, it's, you know.
Guys, I'm just saying, say sex all the time.
That's a good message.
I gotta go get tested too, man.
Yeah, you should.
It's almost that. It is that time.
What happens before the fight? They test you guys. How long before the fight? What's going on with Bare-Knuckle? They testing you?
But I didn't have to take a test for my last one because my tests were updated. Mm-hmm. But I need to go take one now because.
All right, we got a donation coming in.
Will you call out Candy Lay if you win?
Ooh, who will you call out if you win? Would it be Candy Lay?
I don't call these fools. Let me tell y'all niggas something. Right? Let me tell y'all niggas some real shit, right? I'm a hot nigga, right? I'm hot. I don't know why, but it is. It just is. I don't know why I'm hot, but I am hot. You know what I'm saying? I was just telling these niggas the other day, like, nigga, I'm on a 15-fight losing streak, and I got 3 niggas want to fight me. Why? 15-fight losing streak, 3 niggas want to fight me? Man, I'm always be working. But the problem is with these niggas want to fight though, is we're gonna fight, but I'm gonna be training. I'm gonna be training for these fights, so I hope they're like ready for what I have, cause I mean I know what I'm capable of now. I knew what I was capable of then, but shit, it was just like, nigga, fuck y'all. I'm real talented. God said, if there is one, we're gonna make this nigga something special, and that's what they did. So I really think I'm a scientific experiment that made it wrong.
Mm-hmm. Now, listen, this seems like a new Charles Bennett here that I'm seeing. You have no beard. You're in great shape. You only smoked one little mini joint in front of us. You're not eating cheeseburgers or anything.
Well, nigga, that's because I don't have any weed. If I wasn't on there with you niggers, I would have called the weed man. I would have weed right now. But you know what?
Yeah.
I didn't call the weed man before I got on here with y'all niggas. I was like, damn, man. And I forgot that I thought that bitch was longer than that, but it was actually almost to the cutoff date anyway. You know what I'm saying? I threw the roaches away, you know. I put them out real small, you know. So I haven't called weed, man, because I'm on here with you guys.
After you win this fight, we need a favor from you, Charles, because you're going to win this fight. I really feel strong about this. You're going to break the streak. You're going to win on the big stage of Bare-Knuckle. And can you yell out MMA-Holes when you knock him out or when you get on the mic? We need a shout out, Charles.
Now, I'm not going to yell out MMA-Holes. I'm going to yell out, Jesse, I love you.
Even better.
I'm kidding, Chris. I got you guys, though.
Can you propose to Jesse? I don't even want you to yell MMA-Holes. Propose to Jesse after you win. Can you do that?
No. Because then it's going to fuck me up with all the other bitches.
Oh, shit. All right. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
He's got an old lady. Oh, man.
That's true.
So,
That's a good point.
Sorry, Jesse.
You're the man, Felony. Listen, Jesse has some comments from the chat. We're going to get some questions from the chat. What do we got here, JBH?
Michael Chapman says, why are you wearing an orange jumpsuit?
Bitch, I just left the jail. It's red and black, motherfucker. It's red and black. You see this nigga? Red and black, nigga. Red and black, nigga. Black. You see that? Black, nigga. Red. Red and black. Red for the blood that I shed, and black for the darkness that's in my heart, nigga. Dark.
All right, what else we got?
No shit.
Pulse Resurrected says, have you ever been a menace to society while drinking your juice in the hood?
All the time, man. All the time.
Shannon Stewart wants to know, what's your favorite post-fight meal?
I don't know, man. I really don't be eating like, oh, fuck. I really don't be eating like that. I'm glad you said that. Now I got to go get the scale.
So you don't have a tradition of what you're going to eat after each and every fight? You just, what's the plan afterwards?
Well, I'm a seafood lover, you know what I'm saying? So I probably get with one of those rich white guys because, you know what I'm saying, they don't mind spending fucking $200 in a goddamn restaurant.
Mm. How much?
So, you know,
how much of a check is Bare-Knuckle cutting for the Felony this time? Are they paying you good?
Yeah, they're paying me $8,000.
$8,000. That's actually really good. And you're how far up on the card are you? I looked on Tapology. It doesn't even show the card over there. Where are you sitting on this card?
I don't even know. I don't even care. I just want to put these hands on Brutal Bedwetter. I just want to put the hands on this cop. Like, nigga, you was a fucking police, nigga. Like, you know how many niggas in the hood want to beat up the fucking police, nigga?
I don't. How many? I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but you have a number of.
The only problem is, right? The only problem, niggas stupid in the hood, though. You know what I'm saying? Because they might try to fight a cop, and then the cop know MMA and beat they fucking ass. And then versus me, nigga, I don't give a fuck about no MMA, nigga. I'm a street fighter till I die. That's why I ain't been training jiu-jitsu in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Ever since that nigga, Hor Rogan.
Yeah, it's Hor Rogan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his name, right? Hor Rogan? I think that is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He's got that big podcast, right?
Yeah. His faggot ass. Oh, I can't say that. I'm sorry. Dave Chappelle said we cannot say that.
You could say Gaylord.
Gaylord.
That's a guy from Australia saying it. Gaylord. You can say Gaylord. It's acceptable.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so ever since he tried to use me as an example on his podcast that time, saying that, oh, this is why you should use jiu-jitsu, I say, fuck that, nigga. I ain't even trying to learn that shit, because when I fight a guy that's jiu-jitsu bound, I'm going to beat the fuck out of him to show you guys that your jiu-jitsu don't mean shit, because I ain't even try to learn that shit. I quit. Every time they train jiu-jitsu in the gym, I hit the bag. Like, real shit. Fuck that.
Well, now you're forced to be on your feet. You're forced. I mean, here it is. I mean, listen, you have so many fights under your belt. You've won multiple ways here, but now you're back on your feet, and you're going to be fighting Johnny Bedford. Do you have a prediction? What round? Are you going to finish this man? Decision? What do we got?
Yeah, we're going to try to finish this nigga in the first round. Yeah. Because we don't like Johnny.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't.
My cardio is not that good. I'm 40.
Yeah. So you're going to try to get it over with quick. And get that hooker, that prostitute afterwards.
Yeah. How you know?
Listen, we think alike, you know? After the show, me and Jesse, we get hookers, right?
Yeah.
We get
Jesse,
prostitutes.
Quit playing.
Not a joke.
She just got her wisdom teeth yanked out of her head, so she's like all, ugh. You ever get your wisdom teeth pulled?
Oh, the dope.
Yeah.
That's legal dope too, Jesse. How does that feel?
Vicodin.
There you go.
Feels great.
Legal dope.
Yeah.
She loves it.
So I got some pills probably about 4 months ago. I still have them. I don't take them though, you know what I'm saying? And I was gonna give them to this girl the other night, but I was like, man, fuck no, cause they're 4 months old, and I want to give them to her, and then she died, and it's like all on me.
She's not gonna die. She won't die. Trust it, she won't die.
That's great advice from Jesse.
No, I'm just saying.
Were you gonna Bill Cosby her, or what kind of pills are we talking about?
Oh no, she's well aware, nigga.
Oh, okay.
That's what I don't understand, bro.
Yeah.
Like, how do people? This is a sensitive subject though. But how do men rape women? How is that?
I don't know. I never raped a woman, so I don't know how. Have you?
Me neither.
Oh, okay.
Because even if I stay the night with a girl, right?
Yeah.
I'm an aggressive guy. With that being said,
what do you mean?
I sleep in the bed with you, right?
What do you mean by aggressive?
What I mean, I'm about to show you. I'm about to tell you what aggressive means. So I'm feeling on you, and you're like, no. So I stop. 5 minutes. I'm back. Feeling on you again, and you're like, no. I stop. 2 minutes. I'm back. You know what I'm saying? And then it gets to the point where it's like, okay, well, if we're not fucking, I got to go. Why? Why you got to go? Because we're not gonna get any sleep if we're not fucking. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be trying all night.
So listen, you're not playing around here. You want to get to business and then go to bed. That's it, right? It's not too much to ask.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
See, and that's what I don't understand about these guys that be raping women though, because it's like even when you pretending when you're playing, trying to get it in, and she, you know, some bitches be stronger than niggas. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be really a fight. So it's like
Jesse kicks my ass all the time, so I can relate.
Yeah, you know, so your dick goes down. Yeah. Now your dick ain't hard no more, you know what I'm saying? So I don't understand how they do it, man.
Yeah, I don't either. Well, listen.
They probably be on, you know what I'm saying, Viagra.
Maybe.
They be already on the Viagra and just go out and, damn, so I don't know where these cops going now. They just left out the projects right there. Now they going down here to the store right here. So.
Well, I hope everything's all right. Listen, Felony, unfortunately, we have another guest coming on. I want to talk to you. Jesse knows. I would talk to you for 5 hours, for God's sakes. You're fantastic.
No, bro. I understand. I totally understand. I got to go take a shower, nigga. I just left the gym, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I don't want, I already done showed Jesse, you know what I'm saying? The rock of the stock, you know what I'm saying? I know she looking at the sack that ain't gat, you know what I mean?
She's stuck to the seat. Yeah.
The belly that's like heavy, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm fucking with you, my nigga. Chris, I seen you working out the other day, though, man.
Yeah.
I seen you working out. I see y'all working out, you know.
You're on the second channel?
Huh?
You subscribe to the second channel?
I've been subscribed to the second channel, nigga.
Wow,
I get the notifications off the second channel and everything. You know what I'm saying? Not the MMA-Holes.
You got to jump into the chat. You got to jump into the chat more often. Solicit some of the subscribers. Bring them over.
Well, I don't like Fortnite. That's why I only jump in this chat. You know what I'm saying? I
Can you tell him?
You guys. I jump in the MMA-Holes chat, not the MMA-Holes.
Tell him to stop playing that game.
I gave y'all that click though, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I'll come over there since you told me though. I'll come over there and be like, man, fuck y'all and leave. And cause I know y'all got out. Hey, so one time I came in y'all chat, nigga.
Yeah.
And I put nigger so many different ways, nigga, and it stopped it. It blocked it. It stopped it. And then one time I put it and it came. And then I tried to put it again and it blocked it. I said, damn. How do y'all do that?
Our Nightbot is actually, he's anti-N-word. Our Nightbot. That's in the chat. I don't even think he's here. Yeah, Nightbot's in there too. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like the N-word. I told him I'm an honorary N-word, but he doesn't believe me. Nightbot.
Who that?
That's our chat moderator. By the way, we have a donation. This one should be played over here. This is from Bill Cosby.
You can't stop the Siberian Express. Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
Nah, nigga, my thing is either we fucking or I'm fucking.
No, that's Bill Cosby. Either we fucking or I'm fucking. What do you think about that?
Well, I guess he'll be fucking. I'm not fucking with no guys, nigga. The fuck? But yeah, hey, Chris and Jesse and the MMA-Holes, man, it was really nice hanging out with you niggas.
Just the end button's like, if you want to.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, it's right. There it is. Okay.
He's such.
There he goes.
He does it every time.
That's Felony Charles Bennett. What do you guys say in the chat?
I had a million other questions, but...
Did you really? You only had 3 there.
No, I had 3 on the second page,
Where?
and then I turned it over to this one.
What the fuck?
And then you started, like, blabbing away, and I was like, oh,
Jesse,
well, I guess...
you got to tell me. I look at the pad, and I see 3. I'm like, she's only writing 3.
How about, are there any other questions, Jesse?
So, anyway, I just got sabotaged at the end of that interview. Next time, just let me know. Say, oh, wait, I got some more questions. I only saw 3 there. I apologize. Jesus Christ. This is women. They expect you to read their minds. Felony Charles Bennett was live on the show. He's fighting November 16th, Bare-Knuckle FC. Go check it out. It's the Bare-Knuckle show. He's fighting Johnny Bedford, and Johnny Bedford has not lost yet. 4 fights, 4 wins, 2 decisions, 2 knockouts. Felony's got his hands full. Jesse, what do you think of Felony's chances in this fight?
He seems like he's ready to go this time, so hopefully we see some sort of positive outcome.
He is shredded right now. Really good shape. He's training in Florida, and hopefully he gets the W. He said 15-fight losing streak. I think he's on a 13-fight losing streak, if I'm not mistaken. But who's counting, right? Over here it has him at 30, 41, and 2. What a career this guy had, and still having.
MMA-Hole Familia.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Life and Logic. You're wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
So this is what we're going to do. If the donations come in, we will mute them, but play them when we have open spots to throw it in there. Thank you for the donations. We're going to bring in Kaleb Harris and Jason the Kid Knight. Bare-Knuckle FC is a fantastic organization. We love their product, and we love it so much that we're dedicating a whole show to it. This card is going to be fun. The top of the card, Artem the Goat Lobov, who's right over here. Well, he's fighting our guest tonight. Now, Jesse, we're going to find out what it feels like to punch a goat in the face. Did you ever wonder?
Always.
You always? Me too. Let's see what the chat has to say before we get Kaleb Harris in on the show.
Mark Wallace says, more brain dead fighters. Life and Logic says, Kaleb, KO of the year. Social Vash says, how do you follow that? LOL.
I know, right? That is a tough act to follow. Are you okay reading this, or how's your mouth?
It's pretty sore.
Yeah, Jesse's mouth is all fucked up. How do you follow Charles Bennett? You don't. You don't. Now, Charles has been on the show, I think, God, this is probably like his 6th time. 5 or 6th time on the show. So he's been on for a while. Let's beat up the ceiling before we get to our next guest. Jesse, you ready to pump? Let's go! Shout out to Bare-Knuckle FC. Let's get swole. 50 likes.
I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. The dislikes can choke on a dick.
Shout out to Dearth in the chat. All right, so here we go. There's the pumping over there. Get the Fist of Fury going, and we're hanging with the boys.
Hanging with the boys.
It's good to see some of the OGs back. I see you. We see you over there. Welcome back to the stream. Well, I know you've been there the whole time, but shout out to the new names. All right, so the next guest is Kaleb Harris coming in. This guy over here has been on the show before, and I got to say this. Kaleb Harris has one of the greatest knockouts of all time that we've ever seen. And why did this happen, Jesse?
What do you mean, why did this happen?
You know the answer. Why did Kaleb Harris get that win?
Because he wore the MMA-Holes t-shirt.
Oh, hell yeah, Jesse. Hell yeah. Kaleb Harris with one of the craziest knockouts ever. Fa-boom! Look at this. This has been all over the place. Just sends him flying. This is the last time Kaleb fought. And damn, what a knockout. Kaleb Harris is back in the ropes. And we're going to have him on in a second. But look at that, Jesse. That is nasty. Nasty, nasty stuff. I'm going to go to the guest room over here. I am going to change this over to Kaleb. All right, so here we go. We're going to call up Kaleb right now on the MMA-Holes. This is the Bare-Knuckle extravaganza. Jesse, you ready for Kaleb?
Yes.
All right. He's going to be hanging with the boys.
Hanging with the boys.
All right, let me get him on the line. Here we go. Ba, ba, ba. Yes, yes, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, he is here. Kaleb, how's it going, man?
What's going on, guys? Waiting on my... There we go.
All right, Kaleb Harris live on the MMA-Holes. There he... Oh, look at that shirt, Jesse. Do you see this thing?
I do see it.
Oh, that is a thing of beauty. Looks... Oh, it looks wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Hang on a second. Let me see if I can fix this glare.
There it is. Leave the glare on. It's fine. We see it. It's like you're Jesus right now. It's kind of like you're this heavenly figure.
Well, I did play Jesus one time in church.
Did you? Well, Kaleb, I don't know if you saw the previous guest that was on, Felony Charles Bennett.
Yes.
What do you think?
Like a train wreck for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, Felony's the best. He's out of his mind.
I mean, he's definitely an original. That's like, I've seen him at several of the fights. Never really got to speak with him, but Lord knows he ain't scared to be himself. That's for sure.
Man, oh man, he does not care. That guy has been inside cages, ropes. He's been fighting for years, 20 years. He's been doing it, and he has some of the craziest highlight reel knockouts. And now he's on like a 13-fight losing streak, and he's not even stopping. He doesn't care. What do you think about having a long losing streak like that? Would you hang it up, or would you keep going? Is it in a fighter's heart to just keep it going?
Man, that's a hard thing to ask, because like, every fighter deals with getting on a losing streak. They wonder if it's time to hang it up, but I'm one of those guys that just believes that if it's still in your heart to fight, go out there. I mean, sometimes you need to listen to if you're healthy and you can still fight regardless of your losing streak. Some people are just born to fight, and like, I'm not one of those to tell people to retire just because of their age. If they feel like they still got to fight, let them go out there and fight, but just do it with their health. Because, I mean, well, one of the guys I was supposed to fight before he got suspended was like 6-27 as a pro MMA fighter, and we were gonna fight. I mean, I look at it as somebody that's not scared to get in the ring and fight. I mean, they don't care if they win or lose. They're going out there to just fight.
Mm-hmm. It's in your heart. That's it, right? Once you get a taste of it, it's like you don't want to stop. It's crazy with fighting.
It's a high like no other, that's for sure.
I can only imagine. I wish I was tough enough to do what you guys do. I am the biggest pussy in the world. I think Jesse's tougher than me, so right, Jesse?
That's also true.
Yes, very, very true.
Well, she's toughing out that wisdom teeth. I mean, and still doing this show. Like, I was watching, like, I knew something was up before y'all mentioned. I was like, she is not looking thrilled. Like, I don't know if you pissed her off before or what, but
no, it's just her face. No, the wisdom teeth.
Well, it's bad. Both. Yeah, it's just my face. I have a resting bitch face, and yeah, it's the wisdom teeth. But everything's good. No, I'm having fun here.
Yeah, it's crazy. The day of the extraction, she did the stream with us, and I thought she was just gonna tap out. She hung out there the whole show, so I got to give her credit. She's tougher than me.
More power to you.
Yeah,
my mom had to drive me home when I got mine took out not too long ago, and like, I guess I don't remember any of it, but she claims that I wanted to go to Smoothie King and like let me go up there, order my own smoothie, and fill out like my email address and everything. And I was like, why did you let me do that? She's like, well, you said you wanted the discount. I said, I was on drugs. I could have gave them my social security number of all things. She just laughed and then like brought me home. And the only other question I asked other than that was, when can I go train again? And I just remember the nurse laughing at me.
Man, awesome. Well, listen, now here we are. You have 3 fights into Bare-Knuckle FC. I tell you what, coming off of this knockout, now everywhere we turn, and I saw the compilation video, that boxing compilation, you're thrown into that thing. You are everywhere. How has your life changed since you had that knockout? I mean, you are literally all over the internet.
So, most of the part, nothing's changed. I'm still me. I still go about. I have acknowledged the fact that there's levels to this game, and I feel like I've stepped up onto a higher level. Just, I'm one step closer to that dream of this being what I do for a living, fighting to make my money and coming on shows like you guys. But the most part that's changed is that now my teammates and stuff give me shit all the time, because like just tonight during jiu-jitsu class, they'll make, Kaleb's a bare-knuckle boxer, he don't know nothing about that jiu-jitsu anymore, so picking at me and stuff. Or I got students at Primal Martial Arts, one of my sponsors and gym that's run by my best friend and head coach Dustin DePuma. They always call me superstar during when I'm teaching, and it's just little nitpick things, man. Just my friends are happy for me. They just pick at me. I got one buddy of mine that just fought this past weekend and won his second amateur fight.
Awesome.
Every time we're together in a gas station, he's telling the cashier that I'm famous or showing a video, and I'm just shaking my head laughing because there ain't nothing I can do about it.
Oh my God. I would have that video on a loop everywhere I go. I would never fight again. I would just be showing people, look at me. Yes, this is what I can do. Do not mess with me. I mean, how do you not let this get to your head? Ask Jesse, if this was me, right? If I knock someone out like this, Jesse, I would never let anyone hear the end of it. Correct? I would tell everyone about it. I would tattoo it on myself. It'd be crazy. How do you regroup and then get ready for your next fight after something like this?
My teammates, man. My teammates at Black Sails MMA, and not only my teammates, but they're also my family, my brothers, Jonathan Jackson, James Horn, Dustin Puma, and Josh Weems, among the many other fighters that help us get ready. They humble me on a daily basis. And so, I mean, they keep my head grounded to where, yes, I get to live the glory, but at the same time, you're only as good as your next fight. So, you know, everybody's got that. I'm coming in with this fight just the same as I did this last one, to prove that I'm not just a one-hit wonder. I'm not this guy that it took 8 years to get a knockout, and then it's going to take another 8. I enjoyed the feeling of ending that fight quick, and with this next guy, Biloxi's going to have to go dig another hole to bury a body. That's going to be how it is.
I love the transformation. Like we were saying earlier, when you first came on the show to the second time to this time here, there is this confidence that you have, but it's not like an overwhelming confidence. It's like it's something that's attracting us to you. That you have a different swag right now. It's not obnoxious. It's just the right amount of swag to make us really want to watch this fight. Tell me a little bit about your opponent here, and what is the plan going into this fight at Bare-Knuckle FC 9?
So I've actually had 3 opponents since I was told I was going to be on this fight. My first fight was supposed to be against a guy named Travis Kramer. He was like 2-3 in MMA as a pro, 4-0 as an amateur. And he got hit up with a suspension from his last fight on King of the Cage.
Okay.
And they couldn't get that lifted in Pennsylvania. So Drew Lifton, who has fought twice for Bare-Knuckle against Chris Lytle and one other guy, I can't remember his name, but has always took fights on short notice. That was the guy I was mentioning, was 6-20, 27. But I have all the respect in the world because I looked up his Tapology, and he's took a fight pretty much every single month for the last 5 years. And so that was supposed to be the guy I was fighting. And then he got hit with a suspension because he fought last month in Kansas. So I'm actually now fighting Jeff Chiffins. He actually fought for WBKF, whatever that Bare-Knuckle promotion was right before Bare-Knuckle Fighting Championships came out.
Okay.
That Boss Rutan was involved with. He fought on the prelim card with Johnny Hendricks, or not with Johnny Hendricks, but on the same card that Johnny Hendricks fought on. And he's 1-0 in Bare-Knuckle, but he seems like he's more of just a dog fighter. He wants to get in there and swing. So people saw from my first fight to my second fight how well my head movement and my boxing skills gained, and I'm just looking to keep growing off that. I've been working my head movement, my body shots, and the simple thing I remember from math is that a straight line beats a loop every time. So straight punches are going to be the key in this fight.
There you go. It's got to be difficult. You know, you train for one person, then it's constantly changing here and there, and now your fight is right around the corner. Do you think this helps, like, going through stuff like this? You don't have to train for the opponent. You just have to train for yourself. Go in there. Don't worry about who you're fighting. Execute your game plan and just get it over with.
Yes. I don't so much watch film, but I leave it to my coach in my corners, Dustin and Johnny. I usually send the videos of my guy to them. I look up and see. I may watch it once or twice just to see what kind of person the man is. That's a big thing with me. Like, is he a guy that's going to wait? Is he a guy that's going to come forward? You know, do I need to mentally prepare myself for a dog fight, or is this going to be more of a point fight game? But other than that, I focus on what my holes were. Like with Vastante, I didn't throw a lot of body shots. I headhunted a lot, which it worked for me. But at the same time, you know, if I didn't learn from a win, then that means the only way I can learn is by losing, and I don't want to lose again. So I went back and I have watched that video a good bit, but I've watched that video studying what I did wrong, where my hands dropped at, how do I need to keep my hands higher. And so, yeah, just focusing on myself more or less, not putting too much stress into who I'm fighting, because by this point in time, this will be my 21st fight. I've had opponents change 3-4 days out from the fight, and I've done told Nate Shook and them at Bare-Knuckle, I'm down to fight anybody. I don't care. Just don't screw me over. Don't try to come at me and say, you know, we'll do a catch weight with this guy because he's taking the fight on short notice. No, I mean, you know, find me somebody at my weight class, or, you know, I'm willing to step up, but, you know, if I'm going to step up in weight, you got to pay me more.
Mm-hmm. There you
know,
go.
like
Sticking to your
this
guns.
guy, he supposedly wanted to meet at, he walks around at 56, and I told him, I was like, man, I can't make that in 2 weeks. Like I've been eating and training to walk around at 165. I'm lean and cut right now at, you know, there's no way in 2 weeks I can get enough actual body fat without hurting myself. And he's like, no, they want you to meet at 162, which ain't but 3 pounds less. But I'm like, okay, well, I'm your fighter, like, and not to sound like I got a big head, but I just came off a 1 million view knockout. Why am I going to have to work harder for this guy to fight me? And they understood, and I wasn't trying to be a jerk about it. It's just, why am I going to have to cut more weight than somebody that's not having to do anything? And so
good for you.
Eventually we ended up agreeing on, they dropped the weight 1 pound, which 164 to 165 instead of 165 to 166, which I feel like they just wanted to feel like they won something. So I gave in on it. So.
Well, good for you sticking your ground, though. I mean, if you think about it, you look at the highlights for Bare-Knuckle FC, and it is all you. It is insane. Like, your knockout is everywhere. It's all over the place. And what publicity for Bare-Knuckle with you in there doing that. So the least they could do is hear you out and say, okay, we got to do something here. So I'm glad that you it worked out.
And don't get me wrong, Bare-Knuckle has treated me great. Like, I was more or less meaning that, like, I was just having to respond to the matchmaker about that, but my comments were more directed towards this guy and his coaches, like, you know, and I get it, you know, if the guy's walking around at 10 pounds less than what we're going to be fighting at, then yeah, it's his choice to take this fight. I mean, he could have just as easily said no. So I mean, I respect the man for that, but at the same time, I mean, if you're gonna bark at the big dogs, I mean, be ready to fight at the big dog level. Don't make me have to cut down to appease you.
Yeah. Well, matchmaking, I've seen it around here in the local scene, and matchmaking is, it's a stressful job. I don't know how these guys do it. Yeah, it's insane. The night of having to pull things together, and we've seen it at CES, and I was like, holy shit, like, their big fight gets pulled out, and then all of a sudden they got to pull someone and fly someone across the United States to come over here, and I don't know how they do it. So
yeah, I think this guy's coming from Delaware, which, great for me. That's another state I get to add to my map. So
there you go. Now, this is fighting at the Mississippi Coast Convention Center. Is that correct?
Coliseum.
Okay, Coliseum. Now, this is happening over there pretty close to home. Are we going to have a lot of family at this event?
More than likely. Probably not as many as I've got a lot of people coming. I'm going to be representing my Scott County family, which is the town I grew up, the county that I grew up in. But a lot of them are buying tickets to come. I think I've sold, my last fight, I sold 50 something table seats. Oh, wow. And then I know several people bought general admission. They kind of upped the prices on the tickets this go round, and I didn't get my tickets till 2 weeks ago, so it's been hard to sell. But I think I've almost sold about 30 something tickets this go round. One of my best friends, that a lot of them that usually buy tickets, they're out of town working on the oil rig, so they won't be making it this time, but they'll get to see the highlight video afterwards.
There you go. Now, do you predict anything here? I mean, listen, coming off of that big win, the knockout, what's your predictions going into this fight?
It's not going 5 rounds. It's I don't know how it's going to end just yet, but I do know I'm before the 3rd round's over with, and I've been saying this regardless of who I fight next. Before the 3rd round's over with, he's dropping with a body shot.
There you go.
He's at least going to hit his knee to the ground with a body shot before the 3rd round is over with in this fight.
I've noticed watching Bare-Knuckle, I noticed working the body seems to be super important in this type of fighting.
Well, man, it's safer.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I got a hard head. My pro debut in MMA, I had a stout dude that I fought, and he broke his hand with gloves on, hitting me in the top of the head. My first bare-knuckle fight with Harris Stevenson, my hands are swollen after it because I kept hitting his cheekbones. And he actually told me after that first fight that I landed some serious body shots on him that if I'd have kept going at it, he might have been in trouble. And So, as much as I guess I let the excitement get a hold of me, but even in my second fight with Bastante, if you notice, almost every one of my punches, they're from the nose down. Mm-hmm. I'm not aiming for anything above because, I know I got a Neanderthal forehead. If somebody hits it, it's breaking that hand, and even with gloves on. So I can't imagine, like Randy Hedrick, the infamous scene where he ran against Reggie Barnett, and David Feldman came out and said that he was going to lose half his purse in that tournament. He broke his hand in that fight in the first round, and that left him with one hand left to fight. I don't want to be put in that situation to where I got to choose either I got to do major damage to my hand just swinging it, or I gotta run. So I'm going to do everything I can, especially with the body shots. Bare knuckle coming into contact with the ribs, it's a lot more likely for you to break a rib, or for you to hit the solar plexus and catch that liver. And that's what I'm hunting for. I've got my knockout, now I want my liver shot.
There you go. We got Kaleb Harris, the Lionheart, here on the MMA-Holes. Bare-Knuckle FC 9 is November 16th. How do you prepare your hands for your third bare-knuckle fight?
I punch concrete a lot.
Do you really?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, you sound like Tony Ferguson now. It's like, shit, no. So how do you work those hands out?
Honestly, man, I just train. I've always had naturally bony hands, so I've heard a lot of old school people talk about how I've actually had a coach tell me before, take a 1x4, bury it halfway in the ground, and just punch it. Not hard, but just to constantly, just like shin conditioning. Just kind of slowly make cracks in the bone so that it heals back harder. But man, I just train. The way I look at it, my hands are gonna be wrapped and good and tight. So now that I know what it feels like to fight bare knuckle, my mental game is more prepared. So I already know the pain that's gonna come from landing strikes. So I don't do nothing crazy. Like I see a lot of these bare knuckle guys showing their clips of training where they're punching mitts bare knuckle, and they're hitting bags bare knuckle, and I look at it as it's just tearing up my hands. Like I'd rather if my hands are gonna get tore up, I'd rather them be in the ring because I'm getting paid than me mess around and hit a bag or something, or punch a pad and end up scraping up my knuckles and stuff to the point that I gotta wrap my hands double now for the next 2 weeks. So
sounds smart to me, right, Jess?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna play a donation, and when Jesse's gonna get some comments from the chat. We got Kaleb Harris live. Lionheart's fighting next Saturday. Jeremiah White with a donation.
Super chat.
Okay, and this one says, Jesse,
does he bow hunt, compound, or recurve weight?
2 questions.
I've actually don't bow hunt. I just got a bow here recently, and I'm gonna get my buddies to kind of show me the ropes of it once we get time and all these fights are settled down. I know technically bow season's already started and gun season's coming up for deer hunting, but I'd like to go out there and bag me a buck or a doe, either one, with a bow, and have my first deer from a bow.
All right. You think you could feel bad putting that bow in its face, or no? Or its side? Nah. Where do you put it now? Jesse, how do you feel about this?
That's food, man. Down here in the South, I know folks got different opinions about hunting, and that to each their own, but anything that gets, I don't hunt for horns. Anything that gets killed by me and my family, it ends up in the freezer and it ends up being eat. So
yeah, as long as you're eating it, right? That's the purest way to eat. That's the cleanest way to eat, right?
Right.
There you go. All right, Jess, what do you have from the chat?
First, there is a request from Nick C, which I second. It says, can you say fuck Kevin from Chicago?
Can I say who?
Fuck Kevin from Chicago.
Fuck Kevin from Chicago.
All right, now clip that, Nick, please.
Wonderful.
He's a member of the community.
He's the worst.
Okay.
He's the absolute worst. All right, Jeremiah, we already asked this question. He said, do you hunt with a bow? And he says, where did you get your nickname from?
That was my pro debut. We kind of have a thing. You don't give your own nicknames in black sales. And it was getting ready. I was just fighting. I was fighting hard all through camp. And right before I walked out for my pro debut, our coach always gives a specific speech to each fighter that just, I don't know where he gets it from. But it just hits your soul. And he just talked about how, like, I'm always in the gym. I'm always pushing. I'm always trying to get better. I'm my worst critic. And he just happened to say that I had the heart of a lion. And then he just stopped and said, "That's it. That's your fight name." He's like, "Kaleb Lionheart Harris."
That's
and
awesome.
I had a buddy of mine go run out real quick and tell the announcer that this is what this man's name is. And from that point on, from 2016, Lionheart was born, and I ain't slowed down yet.
There you
That's
go.
awesome.
I like that story.
Let's see. Hee How or Dukes of Hazzard?
Both.
Both. There you go.
All right. Can you fight both traditional and southpaw well?
Obviously, I'm orthodox. Southpaw, I can strike well. Defending is a little bit harder. I'm working on it. It's still hard to switch my brain over on which hand defends what when I'm in southpaw. But I do try to work both sides whenever I'm working my strikes and stuff, just because you never know what may happen. Like I said, I may break my hand, and I may need to focus on working that side more often. But I just try to work both.
All right. Have you ever cooked roadkill, says Pulse?
I have not ever cooked anything deemed roadkill. There may or may not have been times where a family member has hit a deer and then brought that deer home and us cooked it. But,
oh, shit.
So you did cook roadkill.
I never did, but there may or may not have been a time or two where coming home, deer gets hit by a truck, we managed to save the hindquarters or something. I mean, it was either that or just leave the whole thing dying on the side of the road. So.
Wow, that's awesome. So did you know when you ate it, or did they tell you afterwards? Hey, by the way, that was.
I was a kid. Like my papa still swears to this day that I've ate possum before, that he's cooked possum and I've ate it. But
no clue. Yeah. Wow.
My number one rule is I'll eat anything that don't eat me first.
Yeah.
And if it tries to eat me, kill it, then eat it. Just don't tell me what I'm eating until after I've tasted it. If it tastes good, afterwards, I don't care what it is. If it's cow tongue, whatever, I'll eat it if it tastes good. But if you tell me beforehand, my brain's going to get in the way and I won't be able to eat it.
Wow.
So,
that's a good theory if you think about it, because meat is meat, right? It doesn't matter where it comes from. I mean, it might taste a little different, but it doesn't matter where it's going. I would be the same way. If someone told me what it is, it would fuck me up. Actually, I'd be fucked up both ways. Who am I kidding? But anyway, now I'm never going to.
You would eat it not knowing, and then once you found out what it was, he'd barf it up instantly.
After you found out it was roadkill, though, how old were you when you found that out?
Man, I was a little kid. I was probably 8 or 9. I found out later that and like I said, that's a possibility. I'm just saying my family's not.
They're just not
past doing that.
Yeah.
If it happens.
All right, fair enough. What else we got from the chat?
All right. Okay. So I already asked that. Will you change your nickname to Lil Chuck instead of Lionheart?
No, I will not change it, but I do love the fact that I can get on Facebook, Instagram, places like that, and I know immediately if somebody is a fan of the MMA-Holes show because they immediately call me Lil Chuck. So that is my unofficial new nickname.
All right. Do you dip Copenhagen Chew?
I've dipped one time in my life. Worst experience ever, and it was only to put it on a wasp sting. And so no, I don't dip at all. I don't smoke.
Wow.
Tobacco is never. Most of my family's done it. Tobacco has never been a big thing for me.
All right.
I didn't start drinking until I was 22. So.
Really?
Yeah.
I couldn't live with you. I started drinking when I was like 10.
That explains a lot.
All right. Sean Hart says, Sean Hart and H want you to know, could you please wear the shirt that you're wearing right now at the weigh-ins?
Ooh.
Of course. That's why I got it.
Did you feel the power of the MMA-Holes when you threw that punch?
I did, man. I was proud to wear that shirt.
That was awesome. You know what's funny? Quick story. Nick Newell, he's the one-arm fighter that fights for Bellator. Yeah. A friend of the show, great guy. You know what he did or didn't do? We sent him his shirt. He said he would wear it at the weigh-ins. And what happens? He didn't wear it at the weigh-ins.
He wore his gym sweater.
The guy's got 3 losses, and now one is because he did not wear the MMA-Holes shirt. Because he did not wear that shirt, he lost.
Yep.
Could you believe
that?
I
hate it. Like, I didn't know Nick Mule was such a because I've loved watching him ever since. Because like, I got mad respect for that man. Like I hated when he got on the Contender Series when Dana finally gave him a shot. But he seems to be doing pretty well. I mean, I know he's on a couple lost streaks, but I mean, the man's he lost in the Contender Series. He came back. He got the win in Bellator, and then his next fight, he took the loss. Close fight. Nick he's crazy. He's a badass, man. He really is. Oh, God, yes.
It's nuts. Like, could you imagine competing with one and a half arms and what he does, choking people out? Would you compete against a guy like Nick Newell? Like, if they threw him at you, would you take a fight against a guy like Nick Newell?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm down to fight anybody, and I would give him the respect of the fact that I'm gonna fight him, and I would treat him like no other fighter. I mean, I wouldn't treat him any different than any other fighter, because number one, he's made his name. He's made his mark by proving that he doesn't need to fight in any handicapped MMA fights or anything like that. He goes out there and beats people with two hands with one. So I mean, if anything, I'd be nervous to fight him, but like I said, I got the respect because I mean, after my first bare-knuckle, one hand was busted up. I couldn't freaking hardly eat pancakes.
I could imagine
with one hand, and I mean that man's over here, living his whole life. I mean,
yeah, that's crazy. Jess, any more from the chat?
That's all.
That's it. Well, Kaleb Harris, listen, this was a lot of fun. We have to have you on as soon as the fight is done. Come back on. We can't wait to talk about your finish. What round did you say?
But I'm not saying I'm going to finish him in the third round. I'm saying before the third round is over with, I'm dropping him at least once with a body shot.
Okay. Well, there we go. And real quick, what did you think of the cut stoppage bare-knuckle BMF title? What did you think about that?
They should have never had that fight in New York City.
Ooh,
because any other state would have probably let that fight go. The same cut. Now, yes, I'm for protecting the fighters, but this is the baddest motherfucker belt, and you got the two baddest guys in the game going at it. You should have at least let Nate walk out on his shield. I mean, don't call it at the end of a third because of the cut. I mean, that same cut above his eye was the same cut that he had in the Pettis fight, and he smoked Pettis. So I mean, I'm not saying he would have won the fight. I mean, Masvidal is the only person I've seen in a long time to drop Nate 3 times, and I got nothing but respect for both of them. I'm just a big Diaz fan and always have been, but they just should have never had that fight in New York City. I mean, New York just legalized MMA 2-3 years ago, and their athletic commission is still real sketchy. So
yeah,
I mean, I hated that was how it ended.
Yeah.
I would have much rather seen it either be a finish or a 5-round war.
Well, that's fair enough. I like what you said over there, and I'm really gonna like the fight this next Saturday, November 16th, Bare-Knuckle FC 9. We're looking forward to rooting you on live on the MMA-Holes. Can't wait for it. Now is the time to shout out your sponsors or anything. Last words from Kaleb Harris.
I'd like to thank all my sponsors, Shelly's Electric, Beavers Unlimited, which is also run by one of my jiu-jitsu instructors, Primal Martial Arts, Black Sails MMA, Namido Jiu-Jitsu, Cypress Bayou Screen Embroidery, Lyle's Machinery. I've racked up a good bit of sponsorships this camp. That. And everybody else that's just helped me through donations and anything like that. And to all the MMA holes out there, please make sure to go like my athlete page. I just broke 1,000 followers on my Facebook. I'm at 800 on Instagram, looking to break 1,000 by next weekend.
Awesome.
So if you could, go give me a like and a follow.
There we go. And we got your social media up top at Lionheart 2193, correct?
That's right.
2193. Go give him a follow. Kaleb Harris, good luck next weekend, and have a great night.
Y'all too, man.
There we go. That is Kaleb the Lionheart Harris live on the MMA-Holes. Jesse, what do you think?
He's awesome, man. I think it was a huge score when we got him on the first time, and every time he comes on, he never fails to entertain the chat, and he's a cool dude, and he's a good fighter.
He really is a good guy, Kaleb Harris. I like him a lot. Real class act, and I'm looking forward to this bare-knuckle event. It is going to be absolutely unbelievably wonderful.
Wonderful.
All right, Jesse, you ready for our last guest? Let's give him a rocking call right now. What do you say?
All right, let's do it.
All right, so we're going to call up Jason the Kid Knight. First time ever on the MMA-Holes. Calling him up, throwing him in the room. All right,
What's
I think
up?
we got him.
Can y'all hear me pretty good?
There it is, Jason Knight. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Can y'all hear me pretty good?
We do hear you, and there you are. Hey, Jason, how's it going, man? If you could turn your camera to the landscaping side. There we go.
That better?
Oh, you look beautiful. Jason, welcome to the show.
How y'all doing, man?
Hey, man, we're doing what we like to say.
Wonderful.
We're doing wonderful over here. It's a pleasure to have you on. A quick, funny story. I know you used to do a podcast with a guy called Kobe, Kobe's Corner. I'm not sure if you remember many moons ago. I think that was like 2 or 3 years ago.
I know Kobe real good, man. We became pretty cool, pretty good friends, actually. It's a shame that he ain't doing the show no more. I used to be on Kobe's Corner all the time.
Yeah, it was funny. I was going through the phone. I haven't spoken to Kobe in, it's been like 2 years. He just fell off the face of the earth. Have you heard what happened to this guy?
I have no clue, man. What happened?
I don't know. I was asking you.
Yeah, I have no clue, man. I haven't heard from him. It's been a while, even before I got kicked out of the UFC. So I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, well, I hope he's all right. Well, Jason, it's a pleasure to have you on here. And listen, I've been meaning to have you on for a while. And why not have you on when you're on the top of your game? A main event against Artem Lobov here. Once again, we're running it back. How you feeling going into this fight?
Man, I feel phenomenal. I feel like I'm in better shape than I've ever been in my life. My skill is sharper than it's ever been, and I'm just ready to go out here and put in some work.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing that fight. We had Felony Charles Bennett. We had Kaleb Harris that's on this card as well. It looks like they're putting together a nice, tight, fun card here. I have never been bored during a bare-knuckle fight. There's been UFC cards, boxing fights that I was like, I could do without this and that fight. Bare-knuckle has been fire ever since the Bkfc has been started. What do you think is the secret to the success of bare-knuckle boxing?
Honestly, to me, I think it's the 2-minute rounds, and of course bare-knuckle as well. You're going to see cuts, you're going to see blood, but the 2-minute rounds, I think, is, the smartest thing. You got 2-minute rounds, you got 5 rounds, and you don't have a lot of time to get to work. So if you don't get to work real fast, then the other guy's going to take over the fight, and he's going to get ahead, and he's going to stay ahead. So, I think that's really what makes it so entertaining. Everybody knows that if I don't hurry up and get to work, then the other guy's going to run away with the fight.
Jason Knight live on the MMA-Holes. You are fighting Artem Lobov once again, and I have to ask you this question. What does it feel like punching a goat in the face?
Pretty rough, man. He's got a hard head. If you've ever tussled around with a goat, he's got a tough noggin on it for sure.
If you notice, I don't know if you see it over here in our room. Someone sent it. One of our viewers sent us an Artem Lobov poster over here. We need to get rid.
I'm mad at you. I seen it. I was like, how the hell you got Artem Lobov and don't have Jason Knight?
We got to get a Jason Knight poster over here. Listen, how about this?
Sure.
Once you beat Artem Lobov, which a lot of people said you won the first fight. Now, you still have a chip on your shoulder after that first fight? Because that was a close one.
No, I don't really have a chip on my shoulder. I definitely feel that I won the fight, and then I watched it over and over and over and over again, and I still feel like I won the fight. But I've watched it from a fan perspective, a judge perspective, from every point of view that I could watch it from, and I believe that it was such a close fight. And then if you're a judge on the outside and you see me fall, you see the slips and stuff like that, you're not knowing for sure whether or not something's a knockdown. Mm-hmm. Like in the first round, Artem, I knocked him down twice. Both times was with a punch. So therefore, I feel like I won that first round. But from the outside looking in, you couldn't see if that punch landed or not. And he jumped up and protested it real quick. So some people thought it was a slip. Mm-hmm. And also, later in the rounds, I think it was like third round. I went for a clinch. He slipped his head out and pushed me. I fell down. Well, they thought that was a knockdown. And if you're scoring it that way, then of course you can give him the fight. But I've said this a few times. I think that if we're gonna score knockdowns, if we're gonna score it that way, and a knockdown's caused by a punch, if it's not caused by a punch, then it's not a knockdown. I believe these judges should have, some type of instant replay. They should have like a monitor in front of them. In between rounds, they can go back and be like, okay, that was a knockdown, that wasn't a knockdown, and score it accordingly, And also, you got judges who are scoring based upon damage. Mm-hmm. That is the stupidest rule I've ever heard of in bare knuckle boxing. Like, why would you score based on damage whenever, I've got more scar tissue than he has. The next guy might have more scar tissue than I have. The one with the most scar tissue, whenever bone connects with bone, it's going to make them bleed. It's going to make them cut. And I know within 30 seconds of this fight, I'll be bleeding again. But, hopefully I've got judges that recognize that,
You make a good point. Why would they, this sport, you're guaranteed to get cut. It doesn't make any sense at all. I didn't even think about that. It really makes no sense. Do you think they're going to change that rule?
I don't know, but if I've got anything to do with it, I'm definitely going to try and get that rule changed.
We'll try to light the internet on fire right now. Everyone in the chat, we have a live chat going on. Everyone, tweet Bare-Knuckle, tweet everyone, say stop this. This is ridiculous. Jason, the Kid Knight, live on the MMA-Holes. This is a pleasure. Now, what do you think after you had the benefit of watching Artem compete again against Paulie Malignaggi? After seeing how that fight went down, some say Paulie won that fight too, broken hands, whatever. It was a shitty fight, to be honest. That's my opinion. Looking at that fight, how do you see your attacking to go into Artem Lobov's fight this time around since, that went down like that?
That fight, it was just garbage, so I've watched it the one time that I was there, and then I went back and watched it one time, just to kind of see what Artem did, see what Paulie did, and I got absolutely nothing from that fight. They were both, fighting scared. But I'm just going to fight a little smarter, fight a little harder, and, try to keep my hands up a little bit more.
I guess that's
I'm trying to make sure that I don't get into that brawl. Mm-hmm. Of course, that's what everybody wants to see. They want to see us go out there and brawl and just throw stupid, retarded hooks and, try to beat the stuffing out of each other. But, I've already showed you how tough I am. I showed you how much heart I've got. I showed you that I can take a punch. I'm fixing to go out here this time. I'm going to display some skill. I'm going to, try to outclass him.
Well, we are looking forward to this fight. Now, it was complete mayhem the first time around. This time around, you're saying you're going to take this a little bit differently. Now, are you still going to bring the heat as much, or are you going to?
Absolutely. I'm gonna keep moving forward. I'm gonna hit him probably 10 times more than I did last time. I've got 1,000 times better cardio, and I'm way more prepared. I put in a lot more work this camp than I did last camp. Because, this time I know who I'm going up against. I know that Artem's not going to fall easy. And I know that, he's tough as nails. Last camp, I underestimated him. I thought that, he's going to be an easy fight. He's 15-1 in MMA. And, I didn't really think nothing about, taking away the kicks and taking away the ground game and all that stuff. I thought that he's not going to be able to hold up to what I bring to the table. And, I'm not underestimating him this time. I put in the work. I'm ready to go. And, I'm going to go out there and I'm just going to put on a clinic. Honestly, I'm going to put on some skills that, you haven't seen before. And I promise you, I'm not going to shy away from anything. I'm not going to run from him. I'm going to be right there in his face the whole entire fight. And it's going to be spectacular.
I can't wait. Now, tell me a little bit about your backstory here. We all know that you came from the UFC. I mean, you actually were pretty hyped up when you came in there. You beat guys like Alex Caceres, Dan Hooker, you've taken out. And then you went on a little bit of a skid, and then that was it with the UFC. Here you are in Bare-Knuckle. You're on top of the game. So tell me about this roller coaster ride that is your career.
Oh, man. I started out when I was 14, just fighting for the love of it. And, for a long time, that's how it was, whether or not I had to work a day job and then, go train afterwards. I was in love with the sport, so in love with it and so excited about my next fight. And then, I made it to the UFC, got on this big win streak, and I was doing great. At first when I got in the UFC, I was excited, ready to fight every time. And, I got used to making that good paychecks, real good paychecks. I went from being broke as can be, not able to pay my bills, barely able to keep my head above the water, to I can buy anything I want, And that's what I did for a while. I bought anything I wanted, and if the money started to get low, I knew that, I can borrow $10,000 from this guy, $5,000 from this guy, whatever I needed. I'd be like, hey, look, I got a guaranteed $30,000 coming. Can I borrow $5,000 from you? Bam, they would hand it to me like it was nothing.
Wow.
And, once I got to the Ricardo Lamas fight, I had done got pretty low on my money or whatever. And I still had some of my own money at the time. Then I fight Ricardo Lamas, and I'm expecting, a $60,000, $70,000 paycheck, because this is what I'm used to getting. I'm used to getting the win. And then out of the 4 fights that I won in the UFC, I got 3 $50,000 bonuses.
Wow.
So I'm used to having a good little whop in the bank, and I can go to this weekend. I can go to the mud park, and I can pay for all my friends, and we go to the casino, and we'll gamble, and I'll pay, give everybody a little bit of money. And we'll go to the bar and we'll drink and be idiots.
That must have been
and
awesome.
That's how I was. I just thought I was a millionaire, and I was nowhere near there. It'll blow your mind how fast you can spend $100,000.
I'm sure
it would blow your mind. But anyways, by the time I get to the Ricardo Lamas fight, I get this $30,000 check instead of this big check, and instantly I'm like, bam, I run out of that $30,000 before the next fight. So I start borrowing money from this one and that one and that one and this one. And I'm thinking, next fight, I'll get the ball rolling again. Well, the next fight, I fight Gabriel Benitez. A week out from the fight, I wound up with strep throat. But I needed to go make this money. I've done borrowed money from everybody. I got to pay this money back, so I've got to win this fight. And I go out there, gas out, lose that fight. The next fight, Makwan Amirkhani. I was already a little bit behind before I got to that fight. But I had to fight it. I was excited. I was in shape. I was ready. And I don't care what nobody says. I beat Makwan Amirkhani. I dropped him twice in the first round. And then the rest of the fight, anytime that we hit the ground, I couldn't get up. I didn't really try to get up. But if you go back and you watch that fight and you really look at who was in control the whole time, I was in control. I had him locked down in my rubber guard. If he would have tried to make the wrong movement, I would have had him in a submission. Well, he didn't ever try to make the wrong movement. He laid and he prayed until the referee would stand us up. And then we'd go to stand, we'd start standing up, and he would try to take the fight right back to the ground. And then I would be in control again.
Mm-hmm.
And, you got judges who don't know what they're looking at. They've never fought MMA. They've never trained jiu-jitsu, stuff like that. And the UFC is just letting this, continue to go on. Well, then my last fight with Jordan Rinaldi, I was going through a divorce. I wrecked a mountain bike exactly 2 weeks before the fight.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had an AC separation in my left shoulder, and I was behind, so I couldn't not take the fight. I had to fight. I'm behind on my money. I gotta fight him. And every time he tried to take me down, I tried to stop the takedown. He'd go to the Kimura trap. Mm-hmm. And whenever he'd go to the Kimura trap, I would have to defend that arm because it's my left arm. That's the one that's hurt. He grabbed it. So I'd try to defend it. Bam, he'd be on my back. I couldn't get him off. There's no excuse, about that fight at all. I lost to Jordan Rinaldi. But, shortly after that, I went and I started trying to open my own little gym. And I'm getting the gym set up, laying the mats down, painting the walls and stuff. And then I get an email from the UFC. Hey, because of your last fight, we're going to release you. Or we're basically, they just cut my contract off. I still have one more fight on the contract.
Who called you? The UFC called you, or called your agent, or called your manager? Who?
No, they didn't call nobody. They sent me an email. They sent me an email and just shut me down.
Are you freaking serious? They sent you that's how they let you go?
Yeah. I think that's how they let everybody go.
What?
But Yeah, I didn't, right at that time I was like, oh man, this sucks. I thought, end of the world. I'm not in the UFC no more, but at the same time, I had already paid my house off. I've got vehicles paid for. I'm good. I don't owe anybody anymore. My last UFC fight, I went ahead and paid everybody back. Started trying to open this little gym, and I was okay. Not in debt with anybody, so it's not that big a deal. Well, a couple weeks go by or whatever, and UFC never releases it. So of course, I'm not just going to go release, hey, I got kicked out of the UFC. Well, next thing you know, a guy named Cole Shelton from BJPen.com, he hits me up. He's like, "What's up, man? Would you do a podcast?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." Well, and one of the first questions he asked is like, "Hey, man, after having 4 losses in a row, how important is it for you to get a win in your next fight?" Like, obviously not too important because I'm not in the UFC no more. And he's like, "Okay, well." That's the first time it was released. He released that article, and then after that, he released that, Jason Knight's a free agent. Well, what do you call it? Cage Warriors, they hit me up.
Okay. Some
Russian organization hit me up, and then Bare-Knuckle hit me up. And whenever Bare-Knuckle hit me up, it was a guy named Frog he calls himself Frog from out in California. And I think he was just kind of like a guy who was trying to feed Bare-Knuckle some people. He hit me up. He's like, "Hey man, would you fight for Bare-Knuckle?" And offered me $10,000. And I was like, it's not the UFC. Bare-Knuckle sounds fun. Like, but that's not a bad paycheck for not being in the UFC. But I was like, put your boss in contact with my coach. We'll see if we can work something out. And then all I know. I put David Feldman in contact with my coach. I know that they're talking back and forth for a couple weeks or a month, something like that. And then I start seeing all over Facebook and Instagram and stuff, Bare-Knuckle FC 5 at the Gulf Coast Coliseum, blah, blah, blah. And I think I had like a month or so until the fight was coming up. And I was like, hey, Bare-Knuckle. I was like, "Hey, I hear Bare-Knuckle's coming to the Gulf Coast. Tell him put your boy on the card. Who thinks your boy should be on the card?" I posted that one day, and then I wake up the next morning, and it's Jason Knight versus Artem Lobov.
Wow.
So I called my coach, like, "Hey, Mikey, we fighting Artem?" He said, "Yeah, man, I made the deal last night or something." I was like, "Sweet," because I've always done that with my coaches. I tell them, "Look, if you believe that I can beat the guy, I believe I can beat the guy. If you say it's a good fight, I say it's a good fight. I've got 100% confidence in them that they're going to do what's best for me,
Wow, that is a crazy story. So here you are, you're on a tear in the UFC, you hit some bad times, you stumble onto Bare-Knuckle, and now you're like the face of Bare-Knuckle FC. Like every time I see a promotion or something, there you are, front and center. How does it feel to be one of the faces of an organization?
I think it's awesome, because in the UFC, I've done a lot of great things. I got the number 15 in the world at one time. I fought a bunch of good guys, and I beat them. And then, like, the 4-fight skid, I feel like I'm better than everybody that I lost to, except for, Ricardo Lamas, I just got caught. That happens. But everybody else is just, a crappy situation and stuff happened. But I think, with the Bare-Knuckle, I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the limelight, and I believe that I deserve that. I've fought hard, and every time that I fight, I'm going to fight that way. Every time that I go out there, I put on a show, and I'm very marketable, so I don't see why that you wouldn't want to market me. I'm glad that Bare-Knuckle's doing that. I'm getting my pay-per-view points. I'm getting just as big a paychecks, if not bigger, than I was in the UFC. The only thing that really sets the UFC apart are these $50,000 bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason that I made any more money in the UFC than I'll be making with Bare-Knuckle. But
the guaranteed money has got to be nice, right?
Guaranteed money is nice.
Yeah,
it's very nice. And then I'm gonna keep on and keep on until David Feldman starts giving out these $50,000 bonuses too. Right now they're not that I guess you could say well known or whatever. They're still starting out. They're fresh. They're early, so they can't really afford to give out these big bonuses yet. I don't believe. It might bankrupt them if they did something like that. But if I keep going like I'm going, Artem keeps going like he's going, Jim Mallers keeps doing like he's doing, Johnny Bedford, Chase Sherman, all these guys keep on hyping up the sport and keep on. Travis Thompson even. I'm sorry, my boy Travis is down. He's been helping me get ready for this fight. But if everybody keeps doing what they're doing in this sport, then eventually it's going to get just as big as the UFC, and it's going to be just as well known. And they keep signing more and more names every day. Mm-hmm. So I don't see why it wouldn't get just as big. Right now the only thing that's stopping it is athletic commissions. Yeah. Athletic commissions are not wanting to put on Bare-Knuckle because they think it's more dangerous. I'm here to tell you, I've had the worst damage out of any Bare-Knuckle fighter out there, and I walked away with some superficial cuts. I had no kind of brain damage. My hands weren't broken. I had no concussions, no broken anything, man. I mean, I don't see why Athletic Commission wouldn't approve it, but hopefully we'll get it to where it's legal in all the states and money keeps rising.
I hope so too. And it's funny. We were talking about this earlier. Boxing is mega, right? Boxing's huge. That's the big cheese. And then this BMF belt happens in the UFC, and then all of a sudden they stop the Canelo fight to put on the BMF fight, showing that MMA is actually rising to the point where people are paying attention to mixed martial arts and the UFC. And people said that would never happen. That would never happen. Boxing's the king. Now you have Bare-Knuckle FC. You could make a case that this is so early in the game that this could be the next big cheese coming up there. It's too early for people to push it away. What do you think about that, Bare-Knuckle being the top dog?
I believe it's going to be hard to compete with the UFC and the PFL and everything, but at the same time, man, if you've never seen a Bare-Knuckle fight, especially live, you don't know what you're missing. I'm telling you, man, this is so much more exciting than the UFC event. I've been to several of them, and it's so much more action-packed, more fun to watch. You don't have to worry about some boring-ass wrestler taking somebody down and laying on them. You're for sure fixing to get some action. You're going to get blood. You're going to get exactly what fight fans really want to see. Fight fans, 90% of fight fans don't train MMA or jiu-jitsu or anything. They don't know what they're looking at. Once it hits the ground, they're completely lost for the most part. Mm-hmm. You got since Conor McGregor, you have got a million casuals out there.
Absolutely.
Who just care to watch the sport just because, oh man, this guy's got a big name, let's watch him. And while they're doing great, they love him. But as soon as they have one downfall, like Ben Askren, look at Ben Askren right now. Everybody loved Ben Askren while he was on top of his game. But after he loses a couple fights, Ben Askren's, he's no good. He never should have got to the UFC. No, that's not the way it works. But, with the Bare-Knuckle, that's what casuals really want to see. Mm-hmm. That's what people who don't know anything about jiu-jitsu and wrestling, they want to see blood, guts, people beating the hell out of each other,
I tell you what, it won us over quick. As soon as we started watching, we're hooked. We do a lot of fight reactions to UFC. Now it's all about Bare-Knuckle. We're loving this, right? What do you think about Bare-Knuckle?
Yeah, I was completely sold. What caught me was when you said the blood and everything, what fight fans want to see. That's exactly what it is, and that's what sold me the first time, was how brutal it was compared to the UFC. And I love the UFC, but it was just so brutal, and I love that. Like, I love seeing someone's face get completely mashed up, so you explained it perfectly.
She's crazy.
It's great.
I agree 100%. I don't get me wrong, I still like watching the UFC. I like watching the PFL, different things like that. I like to see a good matchup whenever two guys are out there laying it all on the line. Even if they hit the ground, You know, sometimes watching these guys on the ground is amazing.
Yeah.
But then UFC, MMA period has gotten so saturated with these boring wrestlers that just want to take the fight to the ground and lay and pray and, you know, hope for the referee to win, you know, stand them back up, or hope for the referee to let them stay on the ground and, you know, not take points and stuff. But you got judges that are letting them get away with it, and I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Now, you were a master on the ground. Do you miss that at all? Like that, the jiu-jitsu and all that stuff? I mean, you were super slick on the ground, and now it's strictly striking. Is a part of you miss that aspect of the game?
I do. You know, I love being able to, you know, when we hit the ground, submit somebody. That's awesome to me. But the thing about it, if I've got a guy who's on top of me trying to rain down punches, trying to hurt me, I got so many opportunities to tap him out, you know, to throw up a submission. But if I've got a guy who's laying here hugging my legs and praying for dear life that, you know, he doesn't get caught in a submission, then that's no fun.
Yeah.
The way I see it, if you're going to fight, period, your objective is to get the other guy out of there. You know, I feel like the UFC is so stupid because they don't get rid of these guys, man. You got point fighters and you're letting them point fight. That is absolutely ridiculous. The point of fighting is to go in there and prove that you're better than the other guy, to try and put him away. You know, that's the plan. Every time I step in there, I don't care if I'm in the MMA fight, a boxing fight, a kickboxing fight, whatever, I want to walk away from the other guy and be 100% sure that it's done. You know, I either broke his arm, I knocked him out, I choked him out, I put him unconscious, you know, whatever it may be, I'm in there to do damage the whole entire time. If I'm on top of you, I'm raining down punches. If I'm on the bottom, I'm throwing up submissions, dropping elbows, whatever I can do to cause you damage. That's the plan. The whole fight is damage, 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 get your hand raised. And there's too many people who's like, oh, man, if I get this takedown, I get this many points. You know, if I don't let him do anything, then I'm okay. That's ridiculous.
Now,
I just got to stay on top.
I want to ask you this, and your nickname of Hick Diaz. I don't know if they're still calling you that these days, but there was that BMF fight with Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal, the stoppage with the cut, the baddest motherfucker, The Rock going in there. I would love to know your thoughts on that whole scenario.
Man, I'm kind of upset about it. You know, I love Jorge Masvidal. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love him. I love Nick and Nate Diaz, but I had to root for Nate. You know, of course I did. That's the big bro. You know, that's one of the guys that I've looked up to since I was 14. Jorge Masvidal, I didn't know who he was until a few years ago, and honestly, it was so hard to even choose a winner out of that fight because I thought for sure it's going to be one of the best fights ever, and it had the potential to be that. You know, they were going to be throwing down, or they were throwing down the whole time. Of course, Jorge, he got ahead. He was running away with it. But if you've ever watched a Nate Diaz fight, he doesn't really, especially in a championship round fight, he doesn't pick it up until the 4th and 5th rounds. And that little cut, you know, of course, I looked at it. It's a bad cut. But that was not going to bother Nate at all. He was going to keep fighting. He was going to fight way harder in the next 2 rounds, and he had the opportunity to win still. If a fight was going to be stopped because of cuts, my fight should have been stopped. I'm glad that I didn't have whoever that doctor was on the sidelines whenever I was fighting. But, you know, I just think it's pretty ridiculous that you make this caliber of a fight, you have that awesome of a card. I mean, the whole card was amazing that night.
It really was.
And then it was just like, it was like watching one of the greatest movies ever that has the most horrible ending. You know, I know you've done that before. You watch a movie, you're like, man, this movie's great. And then right there at the ending, like, man, why did they do that? Why did they end the movie like that? That's how that card was. You know, It was amazing. And then this doctor just ruined it for everybody.
So are you a fan of the actual BMF belt, like the actual fictitious belt? What do you think about them conjuring that thing up?
I think it was pretty cool, but at the same time, of course, Jorge's earned his spot to where he's at. Nate has earned his spot to where he's at. But, why? Like, that's just a money thing. Like, why do they do that? Like, titles in the UFC mean absolutely nothing these days. Like, and of course, like, I was number 15 in the world at one time. That was great. It was cool. But at the same time, that ranking system means absolutely nothing to nobody because I could be number 23 or I could be number 100 and me and such has a beef and they think it's going to sell a whole lot of pay-per-view points or a whole lot of tickets or whatever. Bam, they're going to book that fight right away. It like, you know what I'm saying? Like Dustin Poirier fighting Max Holloway. Oh, man, that's going to sell a bunch of fights. Well, Max Holloway didn't do nothing at all in the 155-pound division, but all of a sudden he gets to jump right past the number 2 guy, the number 3 guy, the number 4 guy, and gets a title shot. That makes no sense.
Yeah, it's actually some pretty good points over there. It's very confusing what the UFC's doing. I understand they're trying to pull in some a new audience and trying to freshen things up, but it is awkward to watch some of these scenarios play out. We are live with Jason the Kid Knight, who is fighting next weekend at Bare-Knuckle FC 9, November 16th in Mississippi. I have a couple of donations I want to play real quick, and then I have some questions from the chat room. You down to answer some questions from the chat?
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm down to answer any questions.
All right, good shit. Let's play this from Pulse Resurrected. This is a donation.
You can't stop the Siberian Express. Choo-choo,
okay, let's see what Pulse has to say.
Yo, Jason, I went to the Bo-Rivage, Harris, and Boomtown casinos in Iberville, Mississippi. Have you been to these places? Also, you should sub to @Pulse Reloaded on YouTube. That channel is awesome.
Shameless plug. But have you been there to, was it the Harris, Boomtown casinos?
I have in the past. It's been a little while. I got saved recently, and I'm trying my best to stay away from all that, stay away from the partying, the drugs, the drinking.
Yeah.
And I'm doing everything I can to live right by God. So.
Oh, there you go.
The plan.
Now, did you just find religion now, or have you always been a religious person?
I've never really been real religious or anything, but I've always believed in God. And it was just a time in my life I was going through a few things, and I just, one night I got down and I prayed and, dear Lord, please, help me out. And it felt like it was the time I needed to get saved. And that night, I prayed for him to come into my heart and, take care of me. And I meant it with everything that I had. I prayed that prayer before, dear Lord, please come into my heart, take over my life. And, I've prayed it before and not really meant it. That night was the first time that I really meant it,
Sure. What do you think God thinks about Bare-Knuckle FC? You think he's a fan?
Yeah, I think so, especially, I think that honestly, I was sent here. I was put on this earth to do something like this. I've been given this platform, and he wants me to use this platform to better his name.
Well, hey, I like the story, man. Your story is fantastic. It's really riveting to hear, and I appreciate you sharing it with us tonight. We have one from Jay Baker coming in here as a donation.
It's got a subscription alert first.
Okay, it's a subscription coming in. Actually, let's get Jesse. Can you read what Jay Baker said?
He says, Jason Knight's grappling is savage, dope fighter.
There you go. There's a shout out to your grappling.
I appreciate that. That rubber guard game's on point at all times.
God, you were so much fun to watch. When you hit the ground, even when you were off your back, I mean, it was so fun watching fighters get frustrated on how you approached your fights.
Yeah, man, I don't think I'm done with MMA. It's just somewhere along the line, I kind of lost that hunger. And, I'm hungry for bare knuckle right now. If that hunger comes back for MMA, of course, I'm going to go back to it. And I plan on, fighting a few more MMA fights, whether it's in the UFC or wherever. But, I just can't see myself fighting on the local circuit and getting paid, $2,500, $5,000 again. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Not whenever I can fight bare knuckle and get paid, as good, if not better, than the UFC.
Okay, we got a donation coming in from, this is from Big Ebony Honey Buns, Jesse. Have you ever heard of Big Ebony Honey Buns?
She is a regular.
All right, we're going to let this one play out. Jesse has a couple of rapid-fire questions, and then we will let you go. We do appreciate your time, Jason, on the show over here. And we have a bunch of people with crazy questions coming in. And here we go. This is Big Ebony Honey Buns. Let's see what Big Ebony Honey Buns has to say.
Cracker, you ever have a real woman sit on your face?
Has that ever happened?
A time or two, for sure.
All right.
Wonderful.
There we go. Let's run into the chat questions. Okay. And this is a crazy show. We appreciate you coming on. They've actually been very civilized today. What do you got, Jesse?
So Flat Earth Deacon wants to know, will you be making more than $8,000 on this fight?
8,000?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Can you give us a number? I mean, you're the main event. Artem Lobov going down here. Can we get a number?
I can't give you the number. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, but it's definitely more than my my last UFC fight, which was $36,000.
Wow.
And I made more than that in my first bare-knuckle fight, which I'm gonna be making more than that fight for sure.
All right, good stuff.
That's all I can say.
Like it.
Okay. Ann H wants to know, how did you get your nickname?
Which one? The kid?
Yeah, the kid.
I started fighting at 14, and my second fight ever, they threw me in there for a title fight. They thought they was going to throw me to the wolves, and they was going to do an interview before the fight, and the lady's like, hey, what do you want your nickname to be? I was like, that's not something you do. You don't give yourself a nickname. I was like, my nickname's going to be whatever somebody wants to call me. It's like, well, all right, well, we're just going to call you the kid because that's all you are is an effing kid. And I've been the kid ever since.
That's great. I love these stories. The nickname stories are the best.
I won that title fight, by the way.
Good. Oh, wow. Look at that.
I beat him up all 3 rounds.
That's good shit right there. Jason the Kid Knight live with the MMA-Holes. Jesse got questions from the chat.
Kainoda74 says, do you feel that Bkfc will be a place for MMA careers or past MMA careers to thrive, or for people with MMA careers to kind of slowly wean off of fighting?
I believe it's a place to thrive. I'm 27 years old. If I want to go back to MMA, I can any day. I've still got the ground game, and I've been working on my wrestling a little bit, slowly but surely, and I can always get better at that. But I can make it back to the UFC anytime I get ready. But why would I? I'm getting pay-per-view points. I'm getting more money than I was in the UFC. Why would I go back and be at the bottom of the totem pole?
Yeah. Does it hurt, or does it take more heart for bare-knuckle boxing or MMA?
Oh.
I think you definitely got to have more heart. You gotta want it more. I think that some of those guys that you see do so good in MMA, they do that way because they got good skill. And in bare-knuckle boxing, I mean, you don't have to have the best skill. You just got to be able to take a good punch and come forward and fight. You don't have enough time to point fight me in this. Mm-hmm. You try to point fight me in bare-knuckle, then you're going to lose because I'm coming at you hard, and if I get ahead, you're not going to catch up.
There you go.
Okay, Pulse wants to know, do you dip chew?
Yeah, nothing. I smoke this e-cig, and that's it.
What is that? Is that a vape pen that you got there?
Yeah, it's vape, just 3% nicotine, and that's it.
Oh, okay. There you go. No CBD or any of that stuff? Are you into any of that?
No, man, I was smoking the CBD buds a little while ago, but like I said, since I got saved, man, I don't do anything. I smoke this because I can't put it down without, wanting to bite somebody's head off.
Now, you said you were in a bad place. Like, are we talking like serious drugs or alcohol? What were you dabbling in?
Oh, no. Man, I just, I felt like, no matter where I was at in my life, it was always like something was missing, and I felt myself, kind of like almost like a depression sort of state.
Yeah.
And the only person who's ever going to get rid of that is God. It's crazy, but everybody's always searching for that something, smoking that joint, drinking that alcohol, taking those pills, whatever it is, they're trying to fill that void in their life. Whether it's, a new relationship or whatever it is, you're trying to chase that new female, whatever, you're always going to try to fill that void. I'm here to tell you right now, the only person who's ever going to fill that void is God. The only way you're ever going to fill that void is if you get close to God like you're supposed to. You know, I've been at the top of the world and it's still not enough. You know, I've always felt like there was something missing, and now I feel hope. You know, I feel like I don't have that you know, that little piece of me that's not there anymore. It's there now, you know.
There you go. I got to find God now. I got to
He
look
does. He does. He
I
really
tell
does.
you,
Where do I find him?
It's one of the best things that's ever happened to. I say it's the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life.
There you go. I heard that God is not an Artem Lobov fan. This is a true story, Jesse.
Hey, I'm down with that. I'm down with that.
Anything else from the chat?
Yes. Is there scar tissue under your eyes, or is that from training?
There's hold on, let me get close. There's scar tissue all over my face. That's why I got cut so bad, man. He didn't. All right, see these few little cuts on my lips. I got one or two here. He did that, you know, made my teeth go through my lips a time or two.
Mm-hmm.
But on my eyes, man, it was all old scars just open right back up. If you go back, you watch my UFC fights. I had 9 UFC fights. I guarantee you 7 out of the 9, I was bleeding within the first round, you know. And that's what people don't realize. I've got so much scar tissue. I have super bony cheekbones, super bony, you know, orbital bones. I'm going to bleed, man. It's just going to happen. It's something that's inevitable.
Yeah. I tell you what, I am such a wuss. Like, if I started bleeding from my face, I'd probably get in the fetal position, start crying over here. So I don't know how the hell you guys do it. Is it just adrenaline going through? Like, you just like, I got to keep going? Like, what goes through your mind when your face is like that?
I don't honestly, I don't feel it. You know, I don't know nothing about it. I mean, I know that I'm bleeding. I know that I'm cut.
Mm-hmm.
But if you cut me, I got to cut you. You know, nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
No. How do I be as tough as you? I'm watching you. You're such a badass, and I'm sitting here like such a pussy. Like I feel so inferior right now. How do you become so tough?
You know, honestly, I think it's something you got to be born with. You know, I've had a lot of people come in training MMA, and you got certain ones that have heart, certain ones that don't.
Yeah, I'm that
and
guy.
if you don't got it, you can't teach it. You know, it's not something you can learn for sure.
All right, well, there goes that, Jesse. That goes right out the window. I'll watch you guys do it, because I can't. I don't know how you guys do it. I've been in the cage interviewing some of these fighters, and I'm looking at their face with the microphone, and I'm trembling. I'm like, how the hell did that happen? Like, it's nuts, man. I have nothing but respect for you guys. All right,
yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Back to the chat.
I think we pretty much covered everything else within the interview.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, Jason, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Before we go, let me give a shout out to a few sponsors. First of all, my boy, Veteran Farms. Veteran Farms, Phenomena Fit, Cradleman Company, and Nelson Outdoors. Those are, you know, my big name sponsors, the ones that helped me get through this camp. Those are the ones that gave me the most money and made it to where I had nothing at all to stress about. Brandon Davis with Savage Association Gym. He used to fight in the UFC. That's one of my coaches. Blake Singley. He's got his own little boxing gym. That's one of my coaches. And my boy Travis Thompson, he come down in the last week, and he fights Bare-Knuckle as well. Travis, man, he's been such a big help in this camp. I didn't know that, you know, I needed him until he got here. You know, I didn't know that it was a piece of my camp that was missing. But, you know, since he's been here this last week, man, I'm telling you, it's been amazing.
Wow, I'm looking forward to this fight. I can't wait, Jess. You pumped up?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Are you still training with Chase Sherman? Did you used to train with Chase too as well?
I'm sorry. Of course, thank you to Alan Belcher MMA, everybody at Alan Belcher MMA and Jason Knight MMA. Thank y'all. But no, since I've been doing the bare-knuckle boxing, I haven't really trained with Chase at all because, you know, why would I? He's a heavyweight, and I'm not letting him punch me in my face. But man, it's funny you mentioned Chase, man, because first time that I ever trained with Chase, ever sparred with Chase, it was way before the UFC. way before both of us got to the UFC. He was getting ready for a tough man competition, and I came in, and I'm thinking, just this big guy. I beat a lot of big guys up. So I'm in there sparring with Chase, and I'm doing okay with him. And it was way before he ever even got any kind of good. I was doing okay with him, and I put my hands down, I stick my tongue out, bam, he catches me, and he about put me to sleep. Since then, I'm like, I ain't trying to spar with you today, Chase. You go with them other big guys, Yeah.
Well, but he's the co-main event, right, of this card?
Yes, sir. But he, of course, there's no real reason for us to train together. I can't give him a good look. He can't give me a good look. And I haven't been training MMA a whole lot. I've been working my boxing. So we train at the same MMA gym, but whenever I'm working boxing, I train with my boy Blake Singley in his backyard. He's got a little gym set up, and then Brandon Davis, he's got a little gym set up in his garage. And the way I look at it, it doesn't matter how nice your equipment is, how nice your gym is. It matters what kind of knowledge your coach has. And I've got two awesome coaches.
Now, before we let you go, I want a prediction here. You're fighting Artem Lobov next Saturday. How is this thing going to end?
One of us is going to sleep. One of us has to take a dirt nap, and I plan on it being him instead of me. I'm going to go out here 100%, and I'm going to show you some skill. I'm going to show you everything that I didn't show you in the first fight. Still going to have the same heart, the same toughness, the same tenacity, but I'm going to be so much more sharp.
Well, how about this? We rooted for Artem last time. We're rooting for Jason the Kid Knight this time. You got the MMA-Holes behind you this time, and we're going to rip off if you win, when you win, we're going to rip this poster off the wall. We'll do that. How about that?
Now, if I win, don't rip the poster off the wall. I like Artem. He's a good guy. But win, lose, or draw, next time that I get on a podcast with you guys, I better see a Jason Knight poster.
All right, fair enough. Jason, good luck.
If I gotta send it out my damn self, I want to see Jason Knight poster.
There you go. We'll send you a shirt, and you send us a poster. How about that? How's that sound?
Sounds great, man. Sounds awesome.
Jason, good luck in your fight, and it was a pleasure having you on. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one. Thank y'all so much.
You too. There he is, Jason the Kid Knight, live on the MMA-Holes. Jesse, thoughts?
I think tonight was awesome.
What a show! I could talk to all three of these guys for hours. Like, I think next time we should just have a separate show for each fighter over here.
I agree.
What a night. Yes. That was a lot of fun. Bare-Knuckle boxing, I'm a fan. Listen, we have done a couple of reactions to bare-knuckle boxing, and we've never been let down. And I have to say this. After talking to these fighters, I want to watch more. I need more bare-knuckle in my life. And next weekend, on the 16th, it's going down, Jesse. You have any predictions in this fight?
I'm not going to go there. I don't want to make any predictions quite yet. But regardless of what the result is, I'm just excited to see, some crazy fights. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun night, I think.
Did you guys in the chat have fun? Gals in the chat have fun? We had 417 watching, hanging with the boys.
Hanging with the boys.
Let's get your final thoughts, and then we're going to wind this thing down. We're going to be back tomorrow for 2 shows, right? Tell them about what's going on tomorrow. I tricked you, Jesse.
Wait, what?
There's 2 shows.
Is it PFL? No, it's not PFL.
No, it's 2 shows.
It's not 2 shows.
2.
No, there's not.
2. At 7:30.
That's not a show.
It's a show.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's a show.
All right. 7:30, there's going to be a premiere for CES 59 that we attended back 2 weeks ago, I believe, 2 Fridays ago. And you're going to get to see that. You're going to get to see the recap, the highlights, and the interviews that we did there in Rhode Island. And then at 8 p.m. Eastern Time is the fight briefing that I will be hosting. And I'll be going over the card for UFC Fight Night 163 Moscow this weekend. We'll be going over the main card there at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
I want to thank our guests for coming on, and I want to thank us for having them on.
Wonderful.
Another swole show. We're going to play the 50 like song in a second.
Okay.
But Friday, the return of Fuka Friday! We're going to drink, smoke, Fook on a Friday!
Wonderful.
You pumped?
I feel like that would have been more impactful with the 24 voice.
That's what you're getting. Food Gore Friday is coming back on Friday. So if you're not subscribed, let's go. We have an early fight reaction Saturday. A lot of show to get going. 50 likes.
It shows sounds coming through.
Let's try this. Gotcha. All right, here we go. 50 likes. Yeah!
I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes.
We've got 50 likes.
MMA-Holes 50 likes.
Let's
I've got
go.
50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. The dislikes can choke on a dick.
All right, if you want to see the UFC stories, go over to the MMAHoles.com. We got all the stories over there in the community section. You can go hang with the boys.
Hang with the boys.
There is a fight this weekend, Qatar. Let's put it over here. We will react to this one right here. All right. Zabit versus Cater is happening. That is your main event. And Volkov versus Hardy, co-main event. Action going down. I think it starts at 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be hanging with the boys.
Hang with the boys.
All right, last second comments from the chat. Let me know what you think of our guest tonight, and then we're going to get out of here.
Upuful says, what about that new video game you downloaded last night? Next
Ooh.
gaming stream, you might be able to see it.
Probably Sunday, maybe?
Flatter says, shout out Chrome's kid, Jesse. Shout out to Chrome's kid. Trent Jacobson is dropping a bunch of emojis in the chat. Sean Hart's smiling. John Baggy says, Jess, come to my house. I'm sorry, John.
I just thought of something.
I couldn't even answer.
I wrote him a note. Got to answer. I just thought of something. Got
No, thank you.
Gonna answer? No, thank you is the answer.
Yeah, that is the answer.
Oh.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Jesse, you know what I forgot to do?
What?
The contest.
That is right.
The giveaway. We're giving away a Randy Couture autograph, some Timeless CBD rub, and an MMA Holes shirt. Ladies and gentlemen, the video was UFC, what was it? The pay-per-view for the Bare-Knuckle, correct? The Bare-Knuckle video, what did we tell you? We told you to like, subscribe, and write, or type, your favorite. Wow.
UFC fighter?
Yes, UFC fighter.
Well, I don't know if you're finishing the sentence or if you want me to, like...
All right, anyway, it doesn't matter. So here we go. This is our random thing that we dropped in here. We have the UFC channel, and we're going to do it, Jesse. We're going to do it live right now. We're going to pick the winner of the giveaway. Let me know at the ones in the chat if you submitted your giveaway entry. This is the raffle. You want to hit the button, Jess?
Sure.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, who is going to win the Randy Couture autograph, the Timeless CBD rub, and the MMA Holes t-shirt? Do you know, Jesse, who's going to win?
I don't know.
Drama! Now it has to say the name of your favorite UFC fighter, and if you don't get it, if you don't put your name there, you don't win. All right, Jesse, here we go. We're going to randomly pick a winner. Who is going to win the giveaway? Jesse's going to click the start button. Ready, Jesse? Go.
Moss. It's not clicking, Moss. The start button's not working.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Let me refresh the page. Put that back in there. Okay.
Okay, let me try this again.
Hold on. We just wanted to add to the drama. Are you ready? All right, Jesse. Click away.
It says, please...
What the fuck is going on?
It says, please enter first the video URL and click get YouTube comments button.
I did.
Okay, let's try this again. One more time, Moss.
Go ahead. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Randomly picking the name, and it is...
Fave fighter was Ronda Rousey. Winner is Deranged 333.
Deranged 333. is your winner. Deranged 333. Oh, you're in the chat.
Wonderful, wonderful.
We got to screenshot this. Can someone screenshot this? Jesse, how do you screenshot on this, you know? All right, Jesse's going to screenshot it right now. So there's your winner right there. I don't even know who this is. DERANGD 333. Are you in the chat? Let us know. If not, we're going to put it on a community section. And you can contact us on the MMA-Holes.com. Take a screenshot of your account and we'll send you your stuff. Deranged 333. Congratulations. I never even heard that name. I guess they're a new subscriber. All right, Jess. I think we're done.
I think we're done.
You ready to go?
If you are.
No, I'm not.
All right.
No, I'm ready. All right, Jesse. Let's give the final words. And I want to thank the guests for coming on again tonight. All three, Felony Charles Bennett, Kaleb Harris, and they are all wonderful, wonderful. And Jason the Kid Knight. If you want to see their social medias, we have it on the stream in the corner over there. Go give them follows on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. Subscribe to Felony's channel. It's featured on this channel. And let's get out of here.
Don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA-hole.
My foot was a balloon.